The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Champion Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. This program begins now. Champions are all over today's show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be joined today by Alex Caruso, who is a two-time NBA champion, and obviously he's fresh off of a parade that happened yesterday in Oklahoma City. A lot of people on the internet were talking a little bit of shit on the parade in Oklahoma City. Then we found some new angles. I think that parade did just fine there in OKC as the entire state showed up to celebrate the hell out of their first ever title. Caruso obviously had won one in the past with the Lakers, I believe in 2020. Now he wins with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and now he has a Mount Rushmore shirt on with his face on all four Mount Rushmore spots. That is up for debate. We will certainly ask him about it and how he is feeling after beating the Indiana Pacers in a 7-game NBA final series that brought in more ratings than years past. We'll also be joined by Keegan Bradley.
Whoa.
Just won the Travelers Championship this past weekend. He's also Captain America for Ryder Cup, and he has the third best odds to win this weekend at the
Rocket Mortgage.
In Detroit.
I had it, man.
Nah, I don't. Foxy said not quick enough. Foxy said, hey, that's in Detroit. That's from a Michigan State grad putting that tournament on.
Oh, yeah. Dan Gilbert runs that thing. He wants to bring golf back to Detroit. They love it every year. It's been a great tournament the last couple of years.
Keegan Bradley, third best odds to win that particular tournament this weekend, fresh off of the Travelers Championship. We chatted with him this morning for about 16 minutes or so. Spoiler alert, guy knows the show.
The man.
He really did. I mean, he really gives a couple speeches in there, a couple conversations. We'll debut that at about 1:05 Eastern time. We'll also be joined by Sham Charania here in about 8 minutes or so. And then Jake Paul will join us.
Oh.
Yeah, Jake Paul has a massive fight this weekend against Cesar Chavez Jr.
Julio Cesar Chavez, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. That's 100% on me. He has 61 total fights. Okay, in his fighting career, boxing career. Jake, this will be his 13th fight. So a little bit difference in experience. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is still fighting, had a fight last year, actually, so he's still an active boxer. He is 39 years old, 38, 39 years old. So people, I guess, are, going after Jake for that particular case. People are going to go after Jake in a lot of different ways. I feel like Jake has put out open challenges to anybody in boxing that would fight him. This feels like a big one for him. And they're also reporting that if he wins this, there's a chance he's going to be ranked in the official boxing rankings. And then if he continues to climb, he'll have a shot at a real title, which is what Jake Paul has said he is committed to doing. A lot of people thought this was an attention-grabbing situation for Jake Paul to get into boxing because his life had been attention-grabbing. He was an influencer, a content creator, a man who trailblazed alongside of his brother on social media platforms, actually put one platform out of business. Vine, see ya, we're gone. You're going to start splitting some money with us, all of us, not just us, but all of us, or we're going to leave. They leave Vine. Vine says, you think you're going to see ya. Vine's dead.
Yeah.
Vine was a great platform.
It was.
Vine was a great platform. But then obviously Jake and Logan come over to YouTube, do the entire thing. I mean, you're talking about business savants. And they've certainly not made the best decisions all the time. When you're living life in the public eye, especially whenever you're trying to pave your own road, you're going to fuck up every once in a while. They certainly did. But I think after getting to meet and watch Logan Paul do his thing, and then now getting a chance to watch Jake, who is fully committed to being a boxer, his content is fully boxing related for the last 5, 6, I don't know how many years it's been.
Long time.
Been a long time.
Yeah.
It's I have massive respect for two boys from Ohio that have obviously carve their own lane in this entire world. And Jake will join us in the next hour. He always says something that pisses everybody off.
For sure.
He'll say something in there that's like, are you kidding me with this whole thing? He's remained wildly committed to boxing, especially with how difficult boxing training is. I mean, that's hard. Cardio is obviously impossible. You got to take shots. You got to get beat up, to beat people up. And he's just committed to it after already being an incredibly successful person. His brother, I think, does the celebrity fights. Okay?
Sure.
Jake Paul is a celebrity who I think is boxing. So there's a little bit two different animals in the entirety of it all. But we appreciate it anytime he comes on. I can't wait to hear how he's thinking about going into this weekend. Obviously, the Tyson fight, a lot of people had a lot to say about.
Yeah.
I don't think we've talked to him since then.
No, we haven't.
Talks at table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Ty, do you see the jacket that the guy sitting next to you is wearing right now?
I do. I absolutely love it. Connor was born to wear this jacket. I can't believe this is the first day we're seeing it. I'm not going to give away what it says on the back. I'll let you kind of go through that. But you were born to wear that jacket. You'll probably be buried in that jacket.
You look unbelievable in that jacket.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much. I know what I wear can sometimes stir a little bit of controversy at times, especially in this office. But it feels like this one, no BS. I look like the man. I don't know.
Well said.
To really describe it. Aside from that,
that's it.
I think there's a chance that I never take this off. I wish I knew that it was Champions Wednesday when I woke up this morning. I would have worn my leather pants. Just gone the full 100% leather outfit. But
no BS. No BS in this. I look like the man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That is what you just said.
And you emphasized it by letting me know.
Yeah, because that was a true statement there. That is no BS. You do look like the man. If you were to walk into any place, like that, people would probably be saying that to you as you walked in.
They're not asking my pronouns because they know they're him. If I'm walking into any place where it's something like this. Oh!
How you doing?
I am him.
How you doing?
I am him.
How you doing?
Once again, I am him. I think I could do that I might go to the biggest dive bar in Indiana after this and do that.
How many cigs?
I mean, look, I still have a few from Coach Siggy, but that's the thing. I can't even put these fake ones in my mouth because they'll combust.
You look outrageous.
Thank you very much.
No problem. You look good. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler always looks cool. He says you look cool as well. Yeah. I think that's a big compliment.
I mean, you got the what's that? The Ghost Squad. I don't want to get it wrong, but
the Ghost Army you're talking about.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, classic World War II story. I guess it doesn't get talked about enough about a platoon, I believe, of people that were like staging fake bases so that. Obviously, the enemies thought that was the real one, so they would attack there, and then bang, we're coming. It was called the Ghost Army. And WWE, they have their own Ghost Army, which is the production crew, everybody that puts everything together, and they are a group of legends, an absolute legendary group. But it comes from an actual story of the Ghost Army in World War II. And then the Ghost Army was a special top-secret U.S. Army unit during World War II, officially known as the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops. This 1,100-man unit was tasked with using visual, sonic, and radio deception to mislead German forces about the size and location of Allied troops. Yeah. They employed inflatable tanks, fake radio traffic, sound effects, and other ruses to simulate much larger force. So the Ghost Army was like, boom! Yeah.
Counterattack.
It was, so in the WWE, they pay tribute to that particular story in that group by like the production crews, like the Ghost Army.
Bit of a jab haymakers.
Yeah, it is I think it's actually like a feint.
Feint.
Feint. Boom, coming at you. But anyways, D-Bud, shout out to the production crew at WWE, by the way. I appreciate the polo. Going to wear it on the golf course. Maybe it makes me better.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe.
If I pick up the game again.
You will.
You said he looks cool.
Yeah, when I walked in, I had a very similar reaction to you. I usually come in and say, what up to the boys, just... I did see the back.
Yeah.
We didn't get it to. I saw the back first, and there was whispers about this particular jacket yesterday after the show. So
I believe this particular jacket was found in the Thunderdome.
It was. Well, I don't know how.
I think it was found and it also picked somebody. I think more so.
Oh, you think that jacket was found and then it said, get me on that man's shoulders?
I didn't find this jacket. This jacket found me.
Are you going to tell people what's on the back of that, or are we not?
I think that might be some movie magic that we save for later. I don't know. It's a long program. You're going to have to stick around to find out, people.
Foxy just tried to catch you.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I thought he was going to turn.
Come on.
You have to wait and see.
Timothy Campbell.
He's already given him a couple.
Yeah, you're right. This is Connor Timothy Campbell.
That's right.
there. Okay, some big news broke last night. Congrats to the Dallas Mavericks and Kyrie Irving. I guess he had a player option or something. I don't know how the NBA thing works. He ended up getting 3 years, $119 million deal that he just signed for to remain in the Dallas Mavericks organization. Obviously, the Dallas Mavericks have the number 1 overall pick this evening, and all eyes are on the main event. Joining us now with some breaking news and maybe some more intel on what we'd expect this evening with the NBA draft, senior NBA insider for the ESPN, friend of the program, ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania.
Hey, Shams.
Shams, good to see you. I hear there's some breaking news. Let's hold off on that for about a half a beat or so. Let's talk about Kyrie's deal getting done before the draft here. What does that indicate? What does that mean? And I'm pumped for Kyrie. I assume Dallas is excited for this next era.
Yeah, Pat, this is a Mavericks organization that the easiest decision that they have will be tonight, and that's drafting Cooper Flagg. There's other things on this docket for Nico Harrison, Jason Kidd, and that organization. One was taking care of Daniel Gafford. A couple days ago, they reached agreement, 3 years, about $60 million in an extension. So he's there for the long haul. But Kyrie Irving had a $43 million player option. And what made his decision so important is if he opted into that deal, the Mavericks would not have had the ability to go out and use their taxpayer mid-level exception of over $5 million to go get a starting caliber, a player that they feel can come in and start while Kyrie Irving is out potentially until January or February with that torn ACL. So they've been in negotiations for the last really week or so to figure out what does it look like for Kyrie Irving as a member of the Dallas Mavericks. And so if he opted in, they had some issues. But they were able to reach agreement on a 3-year, $119 million deal. I actually spoke to Kyrie Irving late last night, and he told me his decision was made for 3 reasons. One, he wanted to show commitment to Dallas. He feels like they've been committed to him. He wants to build a legacy in Dallas. We know what happened in Brooklyn. There was a tumultuous exit out of Brooklyn. Now he feels like he's in a home environment. And the third pillar is he really does believe, in hearing his voice, that this Mavericks team can win a championship when he's whole again. They have Anthony Davis. They're going to have Cooper Flagg. They have arguably the best front court in the league with Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively II, and Daniel Gafford. They have Klay Thompson at the wing as a shooter. So we'll see how Nico Harrison, that organization, is able to round out this roster. A couple players to keep an eye on with that taxpayer mid-level. D'Angelo Russell, Malcolm Brogdon, Chris Paul, all potential options for the Mavericks with the taxpayer mid-level exception. So this is a deal they got done. Kyrie Irving, $40 million per year essentially. He's going to stay in Dallas. And for the Mavericks, this is good news because they're able to keep their core together for a period of time here.
Congrats to Nico on seemingly piecing together a team that he thinks is going to – they're going to bop wood, too, on the defensive side. He likes to play defense down there with the Dallas Mavericks organization. And Nico might get the last laugh on everybody. Let's talk about some breaking news for today, Shams, I do believe you have.
Pat, so we do have breaking news. Houston Rockets guard Fred VanVleet intends to sign a new 2-year, $50 million contract to stay with the Rockets. He's going to have a player option in the second season in 2026-27. And this essentially gives him $5 more million than the team option that the Rockets has. So the Rockets are declining a $44.9 million team option for Fred VanVleet to give this 2-year deal to him. And the Rockets negotiated this deal with Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, and they were able to land a deal that now gives the Rockets flexibility, gives him some comfort in having a 2-year deal with a player option. And next offseason, there is going to be some more salary cap room across the league for Fred VanVleet. But listen, over the last 11 days, we've seen the Rockets extend Steven Adams on a 3-year, $39 million deal. We've seen them trade for Kevin Durant. In the middle of all that, they extended Ime Udoka on a long-term contract extension, gave him 8 figures annually per year, and now they do this new deal with Fred VanVleet. So Rockets ownership, Tillman Fertitta, they had big decisions a couple years ago. What direction were they going to go in? And they signed Fred VanVleet. They signed Dylan Brooks, 2 very important veterans to this team that now is in a position where a lot of people believe they are one of the championship favorites going into next season. And even though this is a 2-year deal, I'm told this is a partnership both sides expect to continue for years to come.
Very active down there in Houston. The Houstonians, we heard Parker McCollum yesterday talk about how every sport, we're going to win. That's what's going to happen down here in Houston. Said he didn't like the Dynamo, though. They need to pick it up, especially if you see what the Rockets are doing. Bringing KD down there is just such a massive move. And then keeping your guy, Rich Paul, negotiating a deal to get $6 million more bucks to stay with the team, even though the team had him for $44.9 million. Always working. Player option next year. Hey, you can decide what you want to do next year. Let's go ahead and win it this year. Love what Houston's doing. Congrats to them. All right, let's talk about some more moves that are happening that are lighting up the headlines around the NBA. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Sean, just like you predicted a few months ago, the Celtics are officially blowing up the team that brought them the title. What are you hearing when it comes to the Celtics? Porzingis, he's been moved to Atlanta in a 3-team trade with Brooklyn. And then, of course, I think it was 2 days ago, maybe yesterday, Drew Holiday gets traded as well to Portland. Kind of rumblings that he's not too happy about that. What are you hearing when it comes to both of these trades? And are we going to see another trade here for Boston before the draft starts tonight? Because it feels as though if that doesn't happen before the draft, then it's probably not happening.
BC, we did try to give people a heads up. I mean, it's not a warning that a lot of Boston fans wanted to hear, but we did warn the people. We did warn the people. What we saw in a 24-hour period was essentially the Celtics getting out of the second apron. They shed about $180 million in taxes. So the mission in a lot of ways was accomplished, and the dismantling has happened. And they got rid of two very critical components to that 2024 NBA championship team. So now, of course, all eyes are going to be on Jaylen Brown, Derek White. My sense this morning, on the morning of the NBA draft, unless a team blows the Celtics out of the water, they prefer to keep both Jaylen Brown and Derek White. But again, they are still a first apron team in the tax. They're still a luxury tax-paying team. Their phone lines are open. They're ringing. They're open to the conversations. At minimum, I think players like Sam Hauser, Anthony Simons, we could see potentially being discussed even more. But they've got a very high price threshold on Jaylen Brown and Derek White, from my understanding, from talking to people around the league. Like, if they are going to move either of them, it's going to be a massive haul that they'll get. So they've accomplished the task in a 1-2 day period of getting out of the second apron, the dreaded second apron. But there are still questions what happens. But again, unless someone blows them out of the water, they've given indications that potentially they're just going to move forward. But we'll see. It is the morning of the NBA draft.
Okay, morning of the NBA draft. You said that earlier. That's a great transition for what I was going to ask. Are we going to see a lot of action tonight? It feels like everybody that's been talking about it says there's going to be a lot of action. Does that mean players? Because I heard you just say probably not with the Boston Celtics players. I think the last time a big player move happened on draft night, you and I talked about this earlier, was Jimmy Butler years ago. Is there going to be a lot of movement tonight? And who's and what's going to move if there is movement?
Yeah, the big player movement usually happens in the lead up to the NBA draft or after the NBA draft. The NBA draft is usually what we see and what we're going to see tonight, Pat. In the last 20 years, about 8 first-round picks are being moved, shifted around on draft day. So far, we've already seen 4 going into draft day. So could there be a half dozen more, 10 more? Potentially. In the lottery, it's tough. But could I see about a half a dozen and picks moving up, picks moving down in the first round? For sure. I do get the sense that starting at pick 3 and pick 4, those teams are going to be, 3, 4, 5, those teams are going to be all ears when they're up to draft. Is there a team that's going to move up to one of those positions and give up future assets? So I definitely think there's a chance that we're going to see some significant pick movement. But listen, at 1, Cooper Flagg. Number 2, the Spurs do seem pretty zeroed in on Dylan Harper. They feel like at 6'6", his ability to play positionless basketball, which is exactly what we saw during the NBA Finals, right? With the Pacers and Thunder, it's guys that compete, two-way ability, lengthy, active on both ends. And so they really view Dylan Harper in that same light. Even though they have De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle, they feel like Dylan Harper can fit right in.
Okay, so you said, congrats to Harper, by the way. Sounds like he's number 2 overall pick. Number 1 overall pick. Then he said 3, 4, 5 can get interesting. And I don't think anybody's been saying who exactly number 3 is going to be, because it sounds like we don't know what team's potentially going to trade there. But there has been a player that has certainly rippled some headlines. Go ahead, D-Bucks.
Yeah, certainly talented enough. Harper's teammate, Ace Bailey. Any news on him where he may go tonight in the draft?
DB, I spoke to a source close to him this week, and they said that they are very confident and comfortable with where he'll end up in the draft. They feel like whether it's as high as 3 or as low as 8 or 9, they feel like he'll land exactly where he wants to be. And only time will tell. I said it when we were together in Indy. Like, he's either got a method to the madness or all the critics are right. And I do think there is enough evidence right now that shows that, listen, between 3 and 8, somewhere in that range, a team will draft Ace Bailey. It might not be where he wants to go, but this is not a guy that many around the league expect to fall much past, that high lottery position. But of course, this process has been unorthodox. Maybe we'll get more information that maybe he has done a private visit that no one knows about. But as of right now, there's been nothing formal on the record in my conversations with teams in that high lottery position. Teams still have not been able to bring him in for a workout. So we'll get more information soon. I'll be digging more soon. But my feel is he has a good idea and a good feel for what's going to happen tonight.
I heard a clip earlier. He said, I'm just focusing on ball. Just focusing on ball. I loved it. I love the answer. And I hope this works out for him. And if he says we got a spot that we're going to, we've talked about this, I think, in the lead up about him multiple times. Maybe a team made a promise, Now teams lie.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Teams lie in a lot of things, but maybe there is an understanding at a deeper level. Okay, let's talk more about some, not rookies coming in. Let's talk about some established players. Maybe a little bit more movement happening in the city of stars. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shams, do you have any update on what the Lakers are planning on doing? We saw the reports coming out yesterday that said, Luka is committed to getting in shape and working on his cardio, and he's done a lot of that already.
Slim.
Yeah, slim, exactly. And then a report came out last night, too, that they might be interested in Jazz center Walker Kessler. We obviously know last year they were trying to get a center, at the deadline. That fell apart. What are the Lakers going to do? Because they obviously can't just run it back and do what they did last year.
The Lakers have had interest in Walker Kessler for years now, at least the last couple years. But the price tag that the Utah Jazz have had has always been very extreme, multiple first-round picks. So for sure, I would assume that they've called on Walker Kessler. I think they've called on multiple centers around the league. That's their biggest need. And Rob Pelinka has said it openly that we are going to address the center position this offseason. They have a second round pick in the draft tonight. They do have a few tradable salaries as well. Players like Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura. Do they want to do something there? Is there something with Austin Reeves? So I think they're going to have to be open-minded. How do you put the best roster around Luka Doncic, LeBron James? They've said they want to keep Austin Reeves as part of that big three there as well. So, but center is definitely the position to keep an eye on. That's the spot that they're trying to upgrade. And I think tonight, tomorrow, and into free agency as well. The free agency period is one that they can utilize as well. Actually, there's going to be 3 or 4 pretty notable centers: Brook Lopez, Clint Capella, Al Horford. And Al Horford right now, guys, what's come of Jason Tatum potentially missing all of next season is this uncertainty around Boston. And that's allowed other teams to really start preparing to go after players, whether it's trying to get a Drew Holiday, a Porzingis, a Jaylen Brown, all of those types of guys.
Derek White.
And Derek White as well. But Al Horford is one of those players as well. And I am told he has a pretty robust free agency market outside of Boston potentially this offseason.
Is he going to play till he's 50? Who knows? We shall see.
He really looks like he could. He looks the exact same as he did like 15 years ago.
I've been watching Al Horford play basketball the exact same way, looking the exact same, seemingly my entire adult life. Yep. And he's not gotten, he's the exact same. Steady. Good for him. Keep getting your money, man. Keep playing. We love it.
He's clean. He keeps it clean. He keeps the face clean, and he's just looks the same way, steady every single year. Yep. Yeah, produces, and great leader.
You said there's a chance there's good centers on the market. Might be one of the greatest of all time. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Shams, you mentioned it earlier, the dreaded second apron when you were talking about the Celtics. Well, yesterday, Vice Chairman of the Nuggets, Josh Kroenke, made some news when he said this.
I think that for us as an organization, going into that second apron is not necessarily something that we're scared of. I think that there are rules around it that we needed to be very careful of with our injury history. The wrong person gets injured, and very quickly you're into a scenario where that I never want to have to contemplate, and that's trading number 15. And so, we're very conscious of that pushing forward, and providing the resources that we can when the moment arrives. But that second apron. Is it a hard cap? I'm not 100% sure, but it's something that teams are obviously very aware of. going forward.
Shams, what the hell does that mean? Everyone's talking about the second apron and teams having to cut players because of that. Is there actually, did he say that just because, or is it actually a chance that Jokic can hit the market someday?
The way I looked at that is it was an analogy. I know personally Josh Kroenke would never consider or want to trade Nikola Jokic. When the Luka Doncic trade happened, Nikola Jokic is one of those types of players that you never would expect to just be willingly traded. And people around Denver know, like, they're never trading Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic, by all accounts, has never looked like he wants to be traded. He's probably somewhere on his horses. He has no idea Josh Kroenke said he cares. I doubt if there's a player that is out of sight, out of mind as much in the offseason, it's him. But I mean, the reality is for the Celtics, that's what has happened, right? Like, a player gets traded. But again, you're not just going to, if they move Jaylen Brown, then maybe it isn't a real analogy. Jaylen Brown was the finals MVP. He's an amazing top-tier player as well. Nikola Jokic, obviously a multi-time MVP of the regular season and all the other good stuff. So I think this was a great analogy. I guess a good analogy that he in his mind, but clearly I don't know if it went across.
These highlights are fucking outrageous. When was the last time you just watched Joker highlights just straight through? Have you? I saw a double-handed bat over the head like this, running full speed.
Look at he's just flicking it.
He's unbelievable.
That pass was absurd.
All the passes, all these shots are outrageous. It looks like he's just, I guess, and then it's splashed. It's not. Yeah, that one right there. Boom. Yep, somebody will be there. Certainly. Let me go ahead and poster somebody. I mean,
but they've had injuries, though. The thing that I don't know, like Jamal Murray tore his ACL, but again, it was before this new CBA kicked in. But they've had injuries. They've gotten through it in Denver, so. Injuries are a part of the game. I don't know if I'm moving Nikola Jokic for an injury, though.
No, I don't think he is either. Do you think he was saying that because he wanted to, point something out, like how ridiculous a new rule is or something? Like, why do you think he would?
I think it's a great analogy to look at if you're the Celtics, right? Like, the fact that it's even in conversation about moving Jaylen Brown and Derek White, those are two really great players. Those are two cornerstones for you to win a championship. When Jason Tatum is back healthy, you hope you have a chance to get back there. You need those types of guys. But the financial reality is that if you're a second apron, first apron team,
what does this mean? What does this mean? These aprons have been tossed around. So he was clearly saying that was a protest statement, I think, in my eyes. I don't know what the aprons mean, but he was saying that to say these are ridiculous rules. There might be something that'll happen where I have to I don't want to ever contemplate getting rid of Joker because of financial thing. What does he mean? He's definitely saying that he doesn't like the way it's currently set up. We've heard apron, we've heard second apron. These are different cap areas of amount of money you could spend on your entire team.
There's a salary cap, of course. Then there's the luxury tax. So teams have historically been paying the luxury tax. And then it's kind of like setting something of, when I talk teams, they just consider it to be something of a hard cap, right? And that starts with the first apron, and that comes with more punitive taxes. And then the second apron is really where you just, it's been described to me as everything just freezes up. Your exceptions freeze up. Your ability to make trades sometimes free up or frozen up. They're not freed up. So you have to get to a certain salary, otherwise you can't make trades, you can't make sign-in trades, and that all makes roster building. Essentially, you're limited to minimums every single year, potentially. And so those are all issues that come with the second apron. So if you're trying to be flexible, you're trying to go get this player or that player, or shift your team in this way. Let's say you fall short. Like the Suns, for an example, right? Like they spent a couple of years, like Matt Ishbia, their owner, very aggressive. He went all in. But it came with the second apron year after year after year. And there comes a point where if you're trying to retool the team or build differently, there are issues that come with the second apron.
Okay, so this was put into place how long ago? And it was because the NBA didn't want super teams? Is that basically why it happened? The owners didn't want that to happen?
I think it was 2023, the new CBA agreement. I believe it was 2 years ago. And, I mean, part of it is the parity. The part of it is, you encourage players to stay with their team. I think the other part of it is just, that's the PA and the league. That's what they negotiated. And so I do think it has, to an extent, made it a lot trickier for teams. In free agency, what we're seeing right now is a lot of players re-signing with their team because there's not much money in the market. Now, next summer, I think we'll get about 10 teams with cap space. This year, there's really only a couple, and Brooklyn is really the real team with max salary space. I remember growing up, I used to watch the league, and it's like every year 4 or 5 teams would have max space, and free agency is through the roof.
Okay, so we just got something off of Reddit here, and you tell us if this is real.
There you go.
So the second apron is a salary cap threshold. So basically, there's a salary cap, then there's a luxury tax area where you're paying for it, then there's a first apron where you're paying luxury tax, plus you're getting some other penalties. Then there's a second apron where you're paying luxury tax and tax on top of that, and also you can't aggregate contracts and trades. You can't trade multiple players in the same deal. You can't send cash out in trades. You can't use trade exceptions from previous years, and you can't trade first round picks that are 7 years in the future. Okay, and we know the NBA loves that.
They love doing
6 years though.
6, yeah,
You're
exactly.
okay.
That's still a long time. Okay, so there's just basically they're trying to make a hard cap. It's like, but it's way after all their other caps, and they had to start imposing bigger penalties because Ishbia told us that his fans don't care if he has to pay a luxury tax for paying more money. So, like, in a way, the owners, Ishbia at least, felt obligated to spend his money. So there was the rules put in place, like, hey, if you do that, you're going to be kind of punished. How long are these teams going to be punished for? And how long will this last forever? Is this going to be a thing that's forever? Or is there teams that are against it? Because it sounds like Kroenke is not necessarily for this particular thing, if you listen to the answer that he gave.
Yeah, they signed a decade-long CBA, if I remember correctly,
Okay.
and so this will be around for a long time. And I think a lot of people thought, it's going to restrict trades, but what we've seen, it's actually made trades even more, doable.
Yeah, got to get
And
money
teams are
off.
more-
Got to get
even
money
more
off.
active.
Yeah, we got to get
I mean,
money
we
off
had
the
most-
books.
We had the most active trade deadline just now. We've already seen so many trades happen, and we're not even at the draft or free agency period yet. So I think it's definitely made transactions. Teams are more willing. Teams are more active. Teams are more. If they have issues, they have to get through with their second apron and all that. Like this is the time to do it.
And can they just automatically get Dahn? So if they go from second apron to first apron to luxury tax time, that could just happen overnight if they're able to do that? Or is there imposing penalties for like a few years because you were in the second apron?
No, it happened with the Celtics in the span of 24 hours. They traded Drew Holiday, traded Kristaps Porzingis, so they got out of the second apron, and now they're in the first apron. And it's about a little over $15 million. If they shed that, they get out of the first apron, and I believe they approach getting themselves out of the luxury tax entirely. So that's why there are mechanisms. If the Celtics, if they're in the first apron now, they're going to be in the first apron next year. Pay a punitive tax. Like we see right there, if they trade, another $15 to $20 million, they could find themselves completely out of it.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, but doesn't this kind of contradict itself? Because if they're trying to make players or want players to stay with their teams instead of forming those big super teams, but then the supermax deals for these players are based on how long
and bigger
you're with that team. Yeah, so like SGA is going to get $78 million or $80 million a year because he's been with OKC for so long. But like a player drafted by them, like Holmgren or Jalen Williams, won't they be screwed because of that? Like the Brooklyn Nets have 5 first-round picks, and if they somehow, some way draft 5 Hall of Famers, won't they just be screwing themselves because all 5 of those players are going to be able to get like the super max deal in theory, but then because of the luxury tax and first and second apron, they'll have to get rid of those guys.
Now you're creating competition within the locker room. You're getting people to turn against each other. It's
contradictory.
Sports business, baby.
That's definitely an issue with the
business is
CBA,
cold.
right? Like,
Yeah, because the Celtics, that's the Celtics have 2 max players, and that's how we got here. Is that our 2 best players, the 2 players we've drafted that we've always had. So they got the most super max that they could get.
Yeah, but boy, you're running up that ladder towards the luxury tax towards the first apron with those 2 guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Can't pay them all.
That's why what Jalen Brunson did, giving up the amount that he gave up last summer, I mean, that has put the Knicks in position where they're not necessarily dealing with, hey, we have to shed this salary or that salary because of X, Y, Z. So I think we'll see, like in Oklahoma City, they have 3 essentially max caliber players, like in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Williams, a.k.a. J-Dub. If those guys all get the full super max or the full maxes, we'll be having similar conversations potentially about them in 2 or 3 years. And yeah, that is a byproduct of the CBA. I don't know if that was the intention, but clearly it has had an impact.
You want to know what happened in our CBA that was a reverse impact than what everybody thought? So the rookie men is like 850,000, we'll say 900,000. Or I'm sorry, the veteran min is like 850, 900,000. And then the rookie min was like 300,000, 400,000. And they're like, veterans that are on min contracts deserve to make more. You've been in the league longer. You deserve for your min to be worth more. And then all teams saw was that $500,000 difference. So if we cut 3 of these vets and we get 3 rookies in here, we get 1.5 million more towards our cap. It was like nobody thought that was going to be it like axed out an entire generation of veteran like min players. Like, see you later. So there's always like some sort of side effect. The homegrown players not being able to stay, we legitimately can't have you stay home. You're going to have to go play somewhere else if a couple of your teammates are very good, is a wild scene that everybody's hoping for, I would assume.
And dynasties, it damn near kills dynasties. Like, if we're talking about OKC becoming a dynasty, if they don't win it next year and go back-to-back, the year after, they're going to have to get rid of one of their best players.
Yeah, but you got to find another one.
The big picture, though, leagues don't necessarily want dynasties, and especially NBA, they want parity. Like, it's 7 different winners in the last 7 years, and then the Brunson thing, him taking, I think he left $100 million on the table so that they can build. That's not what the PA wants. The PA wants like max level players to
brother, we negotiated super max.
And the dynasty thing though, it's like the last highest rated game before that game 7 was the end of a dynasty. So it's like
Indiana, the Oklahoma City never won. Ratings are up, is what they would say.
True.
They would like everybody to have a chance to win. Purpose of the aprons here: the NBA's apron system is designed to curb excessive spending by teams and promote parity amongst teams. It aims to create a more level playing field. Yada yada yada. That's what they're looking for. All right. Shams, we know it's a very busy day for you, draft day. We've eaten up a lot of your time. We appreciate the hell out of you. Good luck tonight. Are you on the show?
Appreciate y'all. I am on the NBA draft show tonight. So tune in. First ever on ESPN. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's go.
You did.
You earned it. Ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania.
Night.
Basically, and I know there's potential suits watching this show in their offices somewhere. You didn't want Shams to be a guy. Okay? Shams is a guy.
He's the guy.
He is. Everything he kind of predicted happening, unfolding. The Kevin Durant thing, he said maybe the next few days. He thought there was a deal about that. And then there was just one piece, I guess, that they were just like a standoff, which can happen in negotiations. I think he was sweating on that one. Where he's like, I said it was going to be a few days. We're kind of
next week.
It's next week already. Like he gets like very worried about that.
Oh yeah.
But the amount of work he is putting in and has put in, it's like the dude is on it. He's on his shit, and I'm happy he's getting these opportunities. Thankful they put him on the show tonight.
Just the Van Vliet tweet that he put out has 1.8 thousand retweets already on the Van Vliet extension.
The news makers are the content creators in sports, and it's like Shams has earned his stripes, even if you haven't seen him. He has earned his stripes in these internet streets, which is not easy.
Not easy at all.
Where Shams has had to work at. It is hard in those streets.
Well, yeah, to that point, he's had to defend his reporting more than any insider I can ever remember. He puts stuff out, and you got people intimately involved in it being like, that's bullshit. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And then it happens, and that part kind of gets washed away. It's like it's another W for Shams, but he's had to really go to bat for a lot of the stuff that he knows to be true, but it is what it is.
Pat Riley.
And normally, bingo, Pat Riley said he was wrong and Pat Riley was in the move. But he also, normally the insiders have a team around him.
Yeah.
And they all come out and say, no, we stand by.
Right.
I don't think that was happening either.
No, absolutely not.
I don't think that was really happening for old Shams. Welcome to the team. Also, hey,
this guy says you're wrong. You're wrong. So retract it. Take it back.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thankful for you. Yeah. And all Shams has done is just keep going. I appreciate Shams. He's always the same guy. He's the same guy that was putting on a tweet every day about lunch.
That's right.
And he knows.
He's the same as that guy.
He legitimately knows.
He does. I guess there were some maybe feathers ruffled there whenever he was talking about the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics, win or lose this year, they're going to have to change a lot of things up there.
Yeah, well,
and everybody's like, they just sold for $6 billion, bub. They just want to shut up, Shams. Why is this guy even talking about it? And then you get through the apron talk, and then you get new ownership, and then now Tatum even with the Achilles. It's like, it looks like Boston is thinking about maybe dropping back down here and maybe trying to figure out what the
dynasty's dead.
Yeah,
I don't know,
it legitimately feels like that in the
Patriots
NBA.
were able to do it in the salary cap era, but obviously a lot more players, a lot different situation. The NBA, because teams can get like the Chet, J-Dub, SGA, that's a big three. going to be hard to get a big three.
Can't keep
unless you build a big
You
three.
have
Brady
to, you
helped
have
a
to
lot,
draft
too.
them, and you have to win when those guys are rookies and in like their third year.
Yeah.
Because like it's true, they are not going to be able to keep all three of those
And
guys.
the draft might not even matter. Like the Celtics drafted Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and like granted, the way or when they won was the biggest deal because it was before Tatum signed his second deal, his max contract to get $300 million. But like even if you draft those guys, if you don't win before those guys sign max contracts, then you're kind of screwed. Like,
Yeah, it's a rookie quarterback deal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where we're at right now with the NBA. And there's going to be a lot of having to adjust how you operate over in that front office world, especially if you're on a team that the owner didn't care. Like the Phoenix Suns. Ishbia has gone on the record saying, oh, yeah, I don't care how much money we spend. The fans don't care how much money we spend. We just want to win. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we care now, so we got to readjust how we do everything around here. Good luck to the NBA. The draft is tonight. We will obviously watch it. Before we are joined by an NBA champion, we got to get some NFL news. Travis Kelce was given real game out at Tight End University. His hair looks phenomenally flowing.
great.
Yeah. As a man who used to have the middle part and let it kind of flow down like that for a long period of my childhood, watching that come back, hopefully through Travis Kelce, is a beautiful thing. But also, strong hair for an older lad. Strong head of hair, just like his brother, Jason Kelce. And he's given real game to these young tight ends, and I appreciate and respect that.
Yeah.
It wasn't always that position groups would work out together in the offseason. You know, I think pass rushers started getting a summit together. They kind of, Von Miller, I believe, was one of the spearheaded people working together in this thing. And what the tight ends have done is take it to a whole different level. I love what they're doing. I also love the fact that it feels like there's real game being given out. And this is just one video the NFL posted. And a lot of people are going to say, well, he's posted because of Travis Kelce. It's like, Travis Kelce's giving real shit out right here to the younger generation on how to be one of the most elusive tight ends in the history, probably the most elusive tight end in the history of sport.
Yeah, this is real game with the founders. It's him, Kittle, and Olsen. I was a teammate of Olsen. I know he is all ball. His details, we hear him on the calls when he's on the calls with Fox. So if you can be in that room with these type of guys, usually you only get lucky enough if you're drafted to one of these teams, you can actually sit in a room or go to their house or learn how to watch film from these guys. But spending some time, a few days with them, seeing how they work out, seeing how their off seasons are, seeing how they prepare for games, all the different experiences these guys have gone through. Like, he's played in the biggest games, biggest moments, been a part of a dynasty, seen the game change. So a lot of things that they can hear, they're probably hearing for the first time, and they can take that back and not only for their game, help their room out on their team, man. So I love what they're doing for Tight End University. A lot of, it's grown so much. It's been 4 years now.
Yeah,
but
huge.
It's huge now.
And
Taylor was on it.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Big night last night. Taylor Swift took the stage in Nashville at the Tight End University party and Tight End and Friends. And I'll tell you what, roof got blown off the place as it should. Probably a lot of bros in there too.
Oh, yeah.
At the Tight End University. And you can't help but just be like, holy shit, Taylor Swift is here. It's a beautiful thing. Taylor supporting Travis. Travis supporting Taylor. Feels like maybe they are in love.
They are.
Did you get invited?
We're so happy. What's that?
Did you get? I was just. It's weird that you didn't go. I figured you would have been there.
What do you mean, the show? There's a lot of shows there. We could have. I assume we would have at some point. Yeah. I said, whoa.
Did you?
Don't be putting
All
us
I'm
down.
asking is, did you get invited?
I don't remember a conversation happening. With that being said, if we would have said, hey, we'd like to go to Tight End University, we know George would have let us down there. We know Trav would have let us down there. We know Olsen would have let us down there for sure. So that's on us, more so on them. Sounds like we're missing a great event over there.
It does sound like
that.
it.
Tight End University looks amazing, and we're happy they're giving back to the football community. Now, joining us, ladies and gentlemen, is a man that took happiness away from an entire state. Okay? A man who's a two-time NBA champion. He was once voted the most Italian in sports Italians.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Oklahoma City Thunder legend, Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
You sound so excited to have me, Pat. Appreciate it.
I want to let you know, there was a moment of being torn, okay? I forget which game it was in the series. You came in and just went ape shit. Maybe game 2, maybe I forget when it was. Early in the series, you came in and were fucking outrageous, okay? I don't remember the exact moment. I was pumped for you. I'm like, holy shit. Caruso looks so cool with that headband, that fresh bald ass head.
Clean.
Looks so cool. But also he is balling out there. Then immediately you continued to do it and continued to do it and then continued to do it. And all I saw was you take happiness away from my family and my friends. So, yeah, I'm not exactly thrilled about how the series ended up, but there was certainly an acknowledgement of how you were playing then and what you meant to that team. Congratulations, Caruso.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think the great state of Indiana, I think they had a lot of happiness over the last 2 months, and I don't think it's all negative in the end. You know, they had a couple good month and 3 weeks, but there can only be one winner.
Yeah, it was a great run. We had a great time.
Also, me trying to ignore you giving rally speeches in the start of the third, into the third, beginning of the fourth, every game in Indiana was really hard. I'm not gonna lie.
So funny you say that because when those things happen, like literally, I'm not told beforehand. I'm just kind of handed the microphone, asked if I would do it, kind of feel obligated. Now I have an opportunity to do it.
They peer pressure you.
Yeah, it is kind of one of those. But with that being said, do the thing. Okay, I'll do the thing. You won. I think you had 13 points in the third quarter, maybe 14 points in the third quarter. I forget what it was. And I was going to start one of them with Caruso, relax, and then I was going to go right into it. But I didn't want to start any shit. I really didn't want to. I didn't want to start any shit. I didn't want to get in any trouble. I'd already, had some heat.
I respect the game.
Okay.
Respect the game.
Let's talk about your Oklahoma City team, man. Obviously, once you guys win, we as a Pacer bias show go through all the different records in the history. In the most 10-point or 15-point win, 20-point wins, 30-point wins, maybe one of the most dominant seasons a team has had in any sport. Why do you think that is the case? I know that's such like a cliche question, but actuality, is it because of how close you guys are? Did you know it going into the season? Like, when did you feel as if this team was going to be historic?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they obviously, they were the 1 seed last year, even before me and Hartenstein joined the team. So they had a great kind of foundation to build on with just the talent they had and how good the team was. And then I think me and Hart just fit in so well with the roles that we played. And at the end of the day, dude, it comes down there's just a talented team. We're literally through the season we won 68 games and we played, most nights we played 10 guys. If somebody sat out or our bigs were hurt, we played with no centers and won games. All that kind of got overlooked because it's just the season and, it's one game after another and you're just rolling through it. But, we were dominating teams in the regular season and, not playing fourth quarters. And I think some of that got swept under the rug because of, obviously, it is a smaller market in Oklahoma City. And, we got pushed into national TV games in February because we were so good and nobody expected it, so they had to add 5 to 10 games where we're playing the Cavs and the Celtics and Denver and the Lakers on TV. And I think it's just a testament to the organization and then the dudes on this team, man. We're good players. That's at the end of the day, that's what it is. A bunch of dogs and really good players.
Yeah, it was evident as we were watching him in person. It was very cool to see how your team operates. And I think you were talking about that Celtics game in Boston, I believe, at the end of the season when they put you on national television. Because the storyline, now we're not the NBA coverage show. You know that. We got some good jumpers in here, though. We got some good jumpers.
We've been talking
a lot of NBA.
Couple good clips.
Are you talking about a clip, like that type of clip? Or are you talking about
shooter?
Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't know if you're talking about me making one shot as a clip and then the 10 misses. You
got a couple of those too.
Okay, listen, Paisan, you're a champion. All right, I understand you're a champion this entire thing. I would feel good about our show, though, in a full basketball game against any show.
No doubt.
We would like that to be known. Any show.
That's it.
That's sport coverage, too. We would put 5 together against any show. So that is an open challenge. Even though we are not an NBA show, we know
that could be a series. You could put that together. That could do some numbers on YouTube or on a certain platform.
Yeah, but some of those shows, the guys are so old. It'd be tough to get them up and
torn ACL.
We'd have to figure that out.
Small sample size league, got it.
And I did factor that into why we would win.
Sure.
So for the teams that have good basketball players, those guys are a little bit older. Think we could maybe. This game's 21.
Yeah.
This game's 21, and it is full court.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to run.
Yeah, got to be full court.
Yeah, we're gonna have to run.
We don't need a center either.
Yeah, we're gonna play like them against some of those teams. But the whole Yeah, maybe drop the rim too, 8 feet. Anyways, I mean, there's a lot of conversations we can have later about that. We respect basketball, play basketball. We're not necessarily an NBA coverage show, but we do feel like towards the end of it, as we're following along with the Pacers in our city and we're friends with Tyrese and the boys, it's like the conversation was nobody's talking about this OKC team. Nobody's talking about this OKC team. That was kind of the convo about you guys. Then obviously SGA, this guy's the MVP. This guy's the MVP, clear MVP. Do you think next year Oklahoma City will get more respect throughout the entirety of the season? And do you think SGA can keep up with what he's doing right now? He's outrageous to watch play basketball.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing with pro sports for the most part, right? Like 95% of pro sports, you have to earn it. So like whatever, until you win, they don't really care about you. They're not going to put you on TV. They're not going to talk about you. But once you win, you can't ignore it. So from that aspect, we better play on Christmas next year.
No, you need Christmas Eve, brother. Yeah. NFL took Christmas. You guys got Christmas Eve.
Sorry about it.
Yeah, sorry about it.
I would love to play Christmas morning and have the rest of the day to watch football.
Okay, and
that would be great.
And to be clear, I'd like to watch your team play. You guys are a fun team to play basketball. And can you elaborate about SGA a little bit? You've been around now. Obviously, you're old. You're old. They call you Unk, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're old. Yeah, you're old in that locker room. Can you talk about SGA a little bit? What makes him different? Why he is who he is behind the scenes that maybe we don't know about?
Yeah, I think he does a great job of kind of protecting his his lifestyle and his home base, because everybody, he's a pretty soft-spoken guy. You don't see him, he's not on the court screaming, complaining to refs, doing all that. Like, he's just strictly about business when it comes to basketball, and that business for him is winning. And like that's the coolest thing I think for me is like he had all these games where there's a couple times this year, like I said, where we would blow people out and we wouldn't play the fourth quarter, and he's like upset, like he wants to go in and play the game still, and like not in a sense of like I got to get to 40 points or something, but
which
like
he did.
Literally is like which he would have already anyway. But he's like, if I'm going to be here, like we might as well get after it and play. And I think I saw that early in the year, and just the longer I went on through the season, like his competitive fire, dude, it's second to none. And I mean that's the reason he's MVP, makes it look effortless, all that stuff. Like he's got the work ethic that all the greats have, and then that competitive spirit to be the best and want to do it again and again. It's fun to be around, man. He's fun to play with.
Did you teach him the push-off, or did he already have that whenever you got there?
No, I think he got that from Michael Jordan.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, learn from the greats.
D-Bud has a question for you.
Yeah, you're a two-time champ now. Didn't get the parade the first time around, obviously because of COVID. But how was the parade? I know I saw a lot of propaganda on the internet saying it was bullshit, but then I saw some real pictures, some real videos. How was that experience for the whole state to come out and celebrate you guys?
The parade was lit, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It was short-lived for me. I was asleep by about 2-3 p.m.
Hell yeah.
Body went to auto shut-off or auto shutdown. I got a lot of sleep. From the end of the parade till this morning. But no, the parade was sick, man. They said it was something like 2 miles long, and you can see like this is the end just at the park that we went to, but like it was 10 to 15, 20 people deep on both sides the entire time. It was loud. Like I didn't realize, being out in the street, I didn't really know what the noise was going to be like. Like you said, first time for me, so I'm figuring it out. But man, it was sick. There were some cool signs. There was one that said Caruso for Pope. So I might have post-career plan. I might move over and get to the true Italian roots and get to the Vatican.
Okay.
How Italian are you? Super duper Italian? You look Italian as shit, I will say.
Yeah, my dad's 50%. His mom was my grandma was 100%.
Do you know whereabouts?
Yeah, one of my aunts traced it back to like Sicily, or just like a small town outside of Sicily. So like we have like roots and ancestors back through there. I don't know specifics of that, but like.
What did you win? You won the Super Italian of the Italian Days. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
What was the Italian award you won?
I don't know. You're telling me. I don't know what you're talking about.
He was on the All-Italian.
I thought it was like Italian American Athlete of the Year or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
They gave you a pinky ring, right?
Internet anointed.
Yeah, no. I think it was an actual. I saw an actual graph. I think you're owed a pinky ring or two now to go next to the other championship ring. Something to look into. Connor has a question for you about a guy that we've learned a lot about here.
Yeah, Caruso, congratulations again on your second trophy.
Thanks,
first one for your coach. Coach Dags. Some people have said that you're supposed to say Dagenalt. I've heard it said other ways as well. What's he like as a guy? Darius kind of reminded himself and us that he was giving him buckets at UConn when he was working for Calhoun back in the day. But what is Coach Dags like?
World. That's a crazy pull.
Yeah, oh yeah. D-Bud played him.
UConn with him. I forgot he was at UConn. That's a great pull.
Team manager.
Coach Dags elbowed D-Bud under the hoop one time.
Also, I think we officially start calling him Coach Dags, and we'll get rid of Dags.
I got another idea for you though. Before we go to Dags,
you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, we'll get there maybe later.
Okay. What was the question?
Hold on, you don't call him Coach Dags, just so we know.
No.
Okay, great.
I mean,
Shams walked us right into that.
He did.
We tell him we did not mean any disrespect if he knows we exist. He should. We're UConn Bubs.
Good name.
Ask him.
I'm going to call him that, and he's going to hate it, and it's going to be great.
Let's not cause any strife. Actually, maybe. Yeah. Start it now.
No,
Plant the
it's good for
seeds.
him.
You guys
It's good
hating
for
each
him.
other over there. That'd be good.
idea.
We'll see you in the finals next year.
Yeah, well.
Do the entirety. What's he like, though, I think is just kind of the question. Coach Dags.
Yeah. Coach Dags, man, he's a unique dude. Like, he's like any of the great coaches in the league nowadays. Like, he's a basketball junkie, basketball nerd. Like, when we went to the Cup in Vegas this year, everyone, like, you'll venture around the city. You might gamble a little. You might go to dinners. I don't think he left his hotel room. He was just cutting up film, watching basketball, and like he was annoyed that we had to go to Vegas for the Cup. But that's just kind of the guy he is. Like, he's a ultimate problem solver. And honestly, for being a younger coach, you say less established. I mean, he's won Coach of the Year and a chip now, but new head coach in the league, first real like big job besides the G League team. He does a crazy good job of like having a clear, concise message for the team and then holding guys accountable. Like, from Shea down to our two-way guys. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. Everyone, is reprimanded the same, encouraged the same, motivated the same. And it goes a long way for the team dynamic, in pro sports, to be able to hold everybody to the same standard if somebody's messing up.
Yeah, it's huge for our sport. I assume it's huge for yours as well.
Yeah.
We have nothing but respect for him and your entire squad. We got a hard out in about 45 seconds. So in 10 seconds or less, can you say something good about Indiana and the crowd and maybe the team?
The weather was beautiful in Indiana while we were there. I really appreciated that. The fans were a little rude, so I'll stay away from them. But the team does deserve a round of applause. The team had a crazy good run. I think they overachieved in everybody else's eyes, but I think from the inside looking out, they just played their game, and they were tough out. Like, it was not easy. We had to play good basketball to beat them. So, hats off to them, Tyrese, Pascal, all those guys, Coach Carlisle.
And hats off to you, champ. Two-time. We'll see you next
Appreciate
time.
it, y'all.
We'll see you next hour.
Football playoff is obviously in the middle of a transition era, but we go back in time into a movie-like setting to battle in the Big Ten to see who gets to move on and who goes home. Our UFO just flew over top B-2 smoke bomber and in the national anthem. And on a day in the United States of America where a heinous act has happened, it's a nice reminder that we'll get your ass. You might take a shot, but you're never gonna win. 10 for Will Howard. Same exact play action. Drops it off to Jeremiah Smith. With space. He's a monster. Jeremiah Smith. First touch is a touchdown. Time. Shot down middle. Puka. Ooh, touchdown.
See the split safeties right here. So Will Howard knows his read, looks him off, steps up in the pocket. Great throw.
Takes a shot. And what happens? Jeremiah Smith comes up with the ball. Handoff. Run to the left. Jordan James. Ram. Strong. right. Out of the Oregon Ducks. If Jeremiah Smith is on your team, I think you can win every game. Travion Henderson. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown. They can run it. They can spin it. They can kick it. This Buckeyes team is playing football at a level nobody else in the country is playing right now. Gathers a low snap, rolls left, throws back to the right. Jeremiah Smith's on the field, so that's another first down. Thus far, this game has been absolutely shite. Step in. Oh my God. That is so beautiful. You got Matt Hardy on the left there. AJ, chance.
I see it at the 47. Unfortunately, my youngest son puked all over himself, went to the hospital, so my whole family's not here anymore to hear that. No. But I'm getting some updates every once in a while. He seems to be doing not much better. He puked over the whole section. Jeez. Instant urgent care, instant hospital.
Oh, no.
What type of shite was he eating? Is someone making salmon down here? We came down here and smelled like fish.
Look at this. For those that have never been here, I would recommend coming and checking it out. Although this particular game was absolute shite. Woo!
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this wild Champion Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. Hour 2 of the program begins now. Champions! Now, joining us in the first hour, we had Alex Caruso. We just got off a call with him. He's awesome. Yep. Every time he's been on the show, he's been great. He's now a two-time NBA champion and one-time super-duper Italian-American of the year. Boom. He's awesome. Also an avid golfer. Excited to see how he spends his offseason. And what can Oklahoma City be going forward? Feels like they don't have as many contract issues as some of the other teams have with the second apron, first apron talk, with trades in abundance. And tonight's NBA draft should be a spectacle as Cooper Flagg gets coronated as a Dallas Maverick and maybe all hell breaks loose with teams trying to unload massive contracts. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Man, that jacket.
Thank you. Might never come off. This might be my final fit of my life.
Could you imagine you sew those things on?
I actually could imagine it because I've been picturing myself sleeping in it.
Got a mirror right above the bed?
Yeah, bingo.
Just in case you wake up, I want to see how good I look.
Uh-huh.
Maybe put one on the sidewall, too. Maybe just put yourself in like a Severance type box with all mirrors.
Might not be able to sleep. Too hard.
You or to sleep?
Me.
Okay.
One half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here.
I get it.
No BS?
No BS.
What did he say?
He said, no BS, I look fucking awesome.
I'm the cool.
I'm the man.
Yeah, there it is. This really has brought out a whole new you. This is like when Four Loko was running through Nick Moraldo's veins.
Sure.
There's a whole new man. I mean, legitimately, I'd go home. I was living in Indianapolis. I'd go home on the weekends. I'd accidentally get home a little bit later, and it'd be a brand new Nick out there on the dance floor. Who's this? What's going on here? And then, bruh, Four Loko is the greatest thing on earth. Is this how you always feel? This is how I feel. This is amazing. On top of the bar, down, leading a two-step. Then the next morning, guys are acting like assholes out there.
Tell you what, now that you bring it up, that's when I became friends with Nick. I was sold a false bill of goods.
Well, I think if normal, everyday Nick saw Four Loko, Nick, he'd say, "What a fucking jagoff that guy is."
Yeah, that guy was a bit of a dick. But although, I mean, I'm thinking about now, I guess all I have to do is just start wearing a leather jacket. And
No, we don't know if that's going to make you feel that way.
For real.
No, I'm saying that Connor feels how you felt during your Four Loko run. It seems like you put that jacket on, whole new person. It's been all morning, has it not? 9-year NFL vet, Darius J.
I would imagine if you drink a Four Loko right now, that jacket just kind of just materializes.
Yeah.
It just comes out of nowhere. But you got to get a gimmick underneath. Got to change your shirt.
Oh, D-Butch. You're thinking too small.
I think normally a plain white shirt goes underneath that
You're
one.
thinking too small?
You're thinking way too small. Let's just say tomorrow, if I have this on again, maybe I don't have a hat on.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah, see?
Welcome back. Back again.
Yeah, I've done it a few times, but I'm not saying just no hat. I'm saying maybe there's something else in my hair.
Oh, we're wearing bandana for sure.
Maybe a bandana. Maybe I just go full slick.
Maybe Alex Caruso.
Maybe I go headband.
On a Harley.
Maybe you do go full
Yeah.
slick.
Gotcha.
Motorcycle helmet.
Full slick back. All of a sudden, I'm the Italian.
Maybe you
athlete
just
of the
burst
year.
into song.
Nah. Maybe you got do-rag.
Maybe.
Yeah, tie that thing, let it hang, too.
I could do that. Not really my style. Never have done one, but I could wave check.
We're excited to see how you've never done this before either, I don't think, and now we're learning about a brand new you.
That's true.
And for everybody that's listening, maybe for the first time, you're thinking to yourself, "Wow, this show's terrible." I want to let you know, we talked to somebody this morning that doesn't believe that is the case. We caught up with the Travelers Championship champion this morning.
Boys, I just want to tell you, I'm so proud of what you guys have done. I've followed you from the Barstool days, and like, holy shit! I mean, you are the guy. It's just amazing to watch.
We are not the guy. You are the guy.
You are the guy.
No,
I'm telling you, you are.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm just telling you.
We're going to keep that in because you're so kind to us right there. Very nice of you. This is the Travelers Champion, ladies and gentlemen. Keegan Bradley. Thank you for joining us. We saw your comment on the Instagram, and as soon as we saw that, the group text lit up. We're like, hey, we think Captain America might know the program, and it sounds like you do. So we want to say thank you for paying attention to what we've been doing, and all those kind things you said to us, not real. Let's say some real things back to you. You're the guy. Hey, let's go. Yeah. You go. Let's go. What a win.
Yeah,
what a win that was, man.
It was unreal because I didn't really play my best all day, and I felt like I was behind the whole day. I'd get to one shot, and I'd go down to two, and then eventually to three. But look at this beauty right here. I can't stop watching it. I just it's sometimes when you're coming down the stretch of tournaments, you feel great, and sometimes you don't. And this was just one of those where I was like, I felt just tough as nails, and what a great putt. I can't stop watching it. It's so fun. Yeah.
What a moment. Obviously, the celebration immediately afterwards with not only you, but the entire area, the entire region, and I would say the entire United States of America. We heard the USA chants throughout, and obviously the captain of the Ryder Cup team has been a pretty prevalent conversation for you, which we will certainly dive into at some point. But while you're watching Tommy Fleetwood kind of stay, he was hanging, stagnant, kind of. You were moving, then he was dropping, then we're getting closer, and then you were moving. You said you felt invincible or whatever. Is there a real moment there? Is there a shot that you hit where you're like, wait a minute, ball looks bigger right now? And then as you're watching Tommy Fleetwood, do you always believe you can catch him? Do you think that he's going to, what is your thoughts on trying to attack on a Sunday when you're down 4 strokes? 3 strokes? I forget what it was.
3.
3 strokes at 15 or whatever?
To be honest with you, when I hit that shot in the bunker, it plugged in the back bunker on 14, I was so pissed at myself because that was just a horrific shot. And I fell back to 3 behind, which was not good. But I knew, I kept telling myself, like, this last 3 or 4 holes at Hartford, there's water everywhere. There's disasters waiting. There's also a lot of birdies. And when I made that putt on 15, that I had to make it. And when that went in and the crowd was excited, I knew, okay, I'm still in this. I still got this. And I knew I had to hit perfect shots coming in, and I really did.
You made golf very exciting there for a bit, and obviously the ratings showcased that. They're saying Captain America is a needle mover. Okay, they're saying, hey, if you're wondering on how this did last year versus how it did this year, here's the numbers. It was way up, obviously, and I think it was because it was exhilarating golf. How good does that feel to be a part of? How good, legitimately, how good does that feel going into a Sunday, big thing, and know that it's not just for you, not just for the PGA, but for golf as a whole, almost every weekend carrying the summer.
It really is incredible. Like there's some things that happen in my life that it's hard to wrap my head around. And, growing up in New England, going to that tournament as a 13-year-old kid, and then, being on that 18th hole with the whole crowd rooting for me. And, one of the craziest things happened to me on that 18th hole that I've never experienced or seen is I hit my drive off the tee, and I'm going to put my club back in the bag, and I heard this huge roar, and I turned around what is that? And I realized it was just my ball hitting the fairway, and I'd never experienced that. And then to see the ratings, I got to be honest with you, we looked I was excited. I was like, wow, that's nice.
Yeah,
but I'm proud to play in the PGA Tour. I'm proud to have Travelers be quote unquote my home event. It's just turned into such a monster deal.
Yeah, signature event or elevated event, I believe, is the exact title now in this new PGA world that we're in. And you saying, what was that set? That was for my drive? Oh, okay, we're doing that. I couldn't even imagine what it felt like whenever you hit that thing to 6 feet, because we were just watching you kind of relive that. You knew birdie ties. I don't know if you knew birdie also potentially wins this thing outright, depending upon what happens. As that's flying, you don't think that's a little short? Are you dancing with the sand, or in your mind you know you hit it perfectly?
And I thought it was perfect the whole time. I really did.
That might go in.
I had 139 hole, and it was a little into the wind, and I thought it was playing about 146, 147, and I have a swing that I call ear to ear. It's a feel that I have where I swing to my ear in the back and ear through, and it goes 146 yards. And I practiced this shot with my 9-iron. I do it with my 8 as well, but I have hit this shot 10,000, 20,000 times, and I get there. It's an ear to ear 9-iron. And I step over it and I hit it. And as a pro, as you know, with kicking, when you get one right, or when you hit a good shot or a kick, and it was perfect. And so I normally am such a nervous wreck playing that when I hit a shot, I'm leaning everywhere and spazzing out. And if you watch me, I'm just doing a partial lean. And when it's the partial lean, that means it's right at it.
Oh, this is when it's tracking. He likes it. Ear to ear, 146. We get over the ball. We heard the applause. I knew I hit it pretty good. We get over the ball, and then all of a sudden, this is ear to ear, baby. We're at 140. I've done this 2,000. I've done this 100,000 times. What am I?
I really have. I practice this at the Grove. I like to have specific feels for each number that I hit, and as we get better as pros, we're really trying to find just these tiny, minor things to get better and better. And for me, it's distance control. And I know when I make that ear to ear with a 9-iron, it's going to go 146. It's not going to go 148 or 143. 143 goes in the bunker, and I lose the tournament. So that's what we practice. That's when we get to this level, getting that fractionally better. That's what we want to do.
9 feet difference.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to be able to control it.
That's what I'm gonna work towards. I'm gonna work towards my ear to ear, because right now I'm just trying to work club to fucking ball, brother. I'm just trying to make contact. The boys have some questions for you, Keegan. We're all massive fans. D-Butt has one.
Yeah, Keegan, stand on that. I've been playing golf now a couple years. I watch pretty much every aspect of it. Live, PGA, TGL. Any tips for us? I'm just trying to break 80. I'm never gonna get to you guys' level, but any tips for us? We always hear the 150 and in, chipping and putting, but anything else you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to practice your short game, especially as an amateur. You want to get good at find a shot that you can hit around the green that you know is going to get on the green. You don't have to try to chip to 2 feet, but have a club, a pitching wedge, a sand wedge, whatever it is, and just get that on the green. Also, the biggest mistake I see amateurs make is they never hit enough club. If you watch on the PGA Tour, you see a lot of guys getting pin high or getting, they're never coming up a club short normally. And when I play with amateurs and pro-ams, they're hitting, they're 30 yards short of the green, and their distance control is horrific.
No, that's because I know my 7-iron is going 175.
Yeah. Good ear.
Yeah, and if it's not going to go 157 yards because I'm going to duff it, not hit it clean, and then it's not going to go in the right direction. And then I'm going to be a full 2 clubs short in this entire thing. I think the issue with most amateurs is we have no idea how far this thing's going each time. Mm-hmm. You just mentioned the ear-to-ear thing.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about what he is thinking about over the head. 146. Okay, so it's a 9-iron, but it's not a full 9-iron actually. It's ear-to-ear swing on this entire thing, and I'm going to work on just that swing for a
10,000 times.
10,000 times. Then 149, fuck, we got a whole different one. We're going top of ear to bottom of ear on this side. Like, that's an insane amount of work that you guys have put into your craft. And just know that we all have massive respect because of how impossible the sport is. Now, let's talk about it even more. A lot of golfers come from warm weather climates. Feels like, if we read some Instagram captions and the way you speak, you are proud that is not the case for you. Boston Connor has a question for you, Keegan.
Yeah, Keegs, massive fan.
Baby.
It's an honor to talk to you. Pat mentioned it right there. Huge fan of Noah Khan, the representation you used on your last social media post. Very nice ode to New England, if you will. With that being said, do you feel a sense of pride, coming from New England? Can you talk about that a little bit? I know, you were born in Vermont. You grew up went to high school in Hopkinton. Shout out. But how do you feel?
That's in Massachusetts.
It's in Massachusetts. Some people get it. If you don't get it, then you never will. How do you feel just being kind of that New England guy on tour?
Well, to be honest with you, that's everything for me. I'm so proud to be where I'm from, and I'm so proud to have taken the path that I took to get to the tour. There's no one from New England out here. No, certainly no one from Vermont. And then, like you said, I moved to Hopkinton in high school, but that's everything. Like, I feel like us New Englanders, we have a bit of an edge about us, and especially when you grow up in the golf world, where I couldn't play golf for 5-6 months. So, I was getting beat by a lot of the kids from Florida and Georgia. But as I got older, and I started to be able to play more year round, I started to get better and beat them. But being from New England is my favorite thing. That I just love it. It's everything that I want to embody, and I feel an obligation to represent the golfers of New England and the junior players, because that was me growing up.
You should see Connor right now.
I mean, some people just get it, man.
He's wearing this ridiculous leather jacket.
I love it.
So jacked up about it. You talked about, the 5 months not being able to play. That's why, like, in the lead up, I mentioned you don't see a lot of like golfers from the north. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, why not? Well, because all year round we can't do it. Track, similar situation. Mm-hmm. I think even like you see baseball. I think there's a lot of baseball from the south. Like a lot of people in the north that play baseball travel down to the south because the weather is ass beating. But if you can beat that northern wind,
that's right.
If you can handle that cold, I think it sets you up for success. Ain't that right, D-Bud?
Damn right.
Yeah, okay.
New England too.
Yeah. Oh, South Florida boy.
College. Went to college up there.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Patriots.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was up there for about a good 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's I knew I liked that about you. I could tell.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful part of the country. Speaking of the country, all eyes are on you, brother. Tone has a question.
Yeah, Keegan, all eyes are on you. A lot of the conversation this week after the win that put you up into the Ryder Cup standings has been about the Ryder Cup. And, of course, you have the honor of being the U.S. Ryder Cup captain at Bethpage Black this year. So my question originally was going to be, when you're picking the captain's picks, have you thought about how you're going to pick, whether, it's a guy who's coming in off of a tournament win who's playing well, or someone like, JT's in there now, but like JT, Patrick Reed, Brooks Koepka, guys who have always performed well at Ryder Cups. Do you know how you're going to make that decision? And if you have to make that decision, are you going to have to put yourself in there as well?
Well, certainly last week has changed the mindset a little bit. I never was going to pick myself if I hadn't won. I had been saying the whole time I got to be in the top 6 to play. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna do whatever I think is best for the team. I'm not sure what that is yet. And when in picking the team, we're gonna go with who's playing the best, but also who we know can handle the situation. But playing a Ryder Cup at Bethpage is going to be extreme. There's going to be a lot of excited fans, and there's definitely players that we know that can handle that atmosphere, but we also want to take the guys that are playing the best. We got a lot of guys that haven't played Ryder Cups that are playing incredible golf, and we want them on our team.
So whenever you're building a team, do you think about camaraderie, chemistry? Does that matter? Because like in our team sports, no, I don't want to say our, like you guys don't have a team event. We're talking about one that you have, but it is very isolated, it feels like, in your day-to-day professionals. Now you got your team of, your swing coach, strength coach, everything like that, but I'm talking about, you get it, okay? For us, we need somebody that's able to bring the vibes. Okay, we need a vibes guy if there's potential down. We need some veterans that maybe have some experience, maybe some young guns, maybe some guys that are great at this, maybe not great at this. If we get a weather day, do we need to think about having some weather players as well? Like, how much of all that other shit is going into the conversation of who's on the team as well? And by shit, I mean like very important stuff, but you know what I'm saying, not just like how each week's going.
Yeah, I mean, all those things factor in. I think the only sport that can sort of compare to the Ryder Cup is the USA men's basketball Olympic team, because you're coming together quick. You're not with each other the whole year. It's 12 alpha players. We don't have role players on our Ryder Cup team, and USA basketball really doesn't either. So I've been really leaning in on Olympic teams for basketball, Olympic coaches that have coached the Olympic basketball team, because I think the parallels are really similar. You have to figure out these personalities that are alpha dogs we're used to playing against each other every week, that we need to come together quickly and learn, how we're going to do this together. And we're going to bring an attitude to Bethpage. We're representing the people of Bethpage. This is a public golf course. They're proud of this place. This is their home course, and we have to embody that.
Yeah, America. We need every part about that. Tone just mentioned Jordan. Obviously, we've got a tie in there. Have we been leaning on others, and how we could potentially lead a squad? You talk about Olympic basketball team. There was one. That was certainly one he was a part of in the Dream Team. Pretty big deal. I think put basketball into the world that it's at now. Have you been talking to anybody outside? Wayne Gretzky, maybe.
Sure.
Let's get some Wayno thoughts in here. Coaches, maybe. We reaching out to other sports. Bill Belichick, obviously. Yeah, sure. New Englander down there in Carolina. Do we reach out to him? He's a Jordan brand guy now. You see him?
Yeah, that's right.
He's got all his cut up shit, Jordan shit now. Has there been any of those conversations, Coach? Cap, sorry.
Yes, I'm talking to everybody, every coach I know, every player I know. And, a strange thing about this life that I've learned, that I've lived, is I've grown up and have been able to meet my idols, and in a few instances become friends with them, as Michael. And when you grow up and you meet Michael and you get to be friends with him, you realize this guy is the greatest guy ever. And he's someone that I can lean on always. He's always there for me. He doesn't want any credit. He just wants to help the team. And, I think that's a message as well to our team, is that, we're going to do whatever we can to just win the Ryder Cup. Whatever that is, it could be a small thing, could be a big thing. A gesture now, the smallest gestures now can make the biggest difference in September. And we lean in, I'm cashing in all my chips. I'm talking to every coach I've ever met. I'm talking to every player that I got in my phone. I'm talking to Brady. I'm picking everybody's brain that I can to just, if maybe one little thing can help us, that's all that matters.
Let's go win this. Huh?
Need to.
Let's go win this thing. And also, good luck this weekend. I think you have the third best odds to go back to back. We can't wait to watch. And congratulations on everything. And thank you for being cool to us. We very much appreciate that.
Thank you, boys. I'm so proud of what you've done. But this has been great for me to come on here. I've watched you guys, and this is awesome.
We're proud of you.
Proud of you, Cap.
Hey, get the wide one here.
Thank you, Cap.
Thank you, Captain. We're proud of you, buddy.
Love you, Kings. Thanks, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Travelers Champion, Captain of America in the Ryder Cup, Keegan Bradley. Thank you. We appreciate the hell out of Keegan for joining us earlier today. It was so cool that he knew who we were, and it was cool to watch back there, him saying those things. Felt like those were genuine comments. In a moment, I'm like, let's not talk about that. Let's keep it moving. I appreciate him lying to us to make us feel good, and I appreciate him following along, and I appreciate the fact that he's got some tough decisions to make. Sounds like he's like, maybe if I do keep playing good, maybe I have earned a right to be on the Ryder Cup team as the captain. If I'm not, I'm not. He said he's taking everything into account. We can't wait to see that. That is an event that the world falls in love with because it's golf with hockey atmosphere.
Yes.
It's golf with football. It's golf with a crowd that is on top of you, basically, and it's promoted that way. And then we see big moments because it's all the superstars taking on all the other superstars in different fashions, different styles than what we see on the week-to-week basis. The Ryder Cup's awesome. I remember we broke the news when the Ryder Cup was happening, 19 months ahead of time. You remember that?
Was that the president's?
I think it was it wasn't even the Ryder
Was that
Cup.
when Furyk was?
Jim Furyk was going to be the President's Cup. Captain.
It hasn't happened yet.
36 months from when we had the conversation.
It was sold to us, though. Big deal, big deal, big deal. You want to do this? Sure, we'll do it for golf. We love golf. We like watching golf. It's a big deal. Guy breaks news. When's that? 2031.
Yep.
All right, sweet. Okay. Will somebody remind us of this information that we just broke? That would be really good in the day-to-day market. Shout out to ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Also, shout out to SeatGeek, today's sponsor, the best ticket buying platform on planet Earth and the moon. With over 30 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app on planet Earth. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. You'll never get catfished. And right now, you use PAT30. You'll get $30 off any ticket of your choice. Does not matter if you're a first-time buyer or a return customer. There are some restrictions that apply, like if it is less than $30. Like if you're buying tickets to a Pittsburgh Pirates game, I guess. Something.
Sure. Maybe even something a little different, like a Rochester Nighthawks game.
Yeah, or anything that is happening. SeatGeek has the tickets for you. If they're less than $30, you're not going to be able to use the code because they're not going to be owing you money for the ticket that you're getting. If it's more than $30, I assume maybe more than $50, you can get $30 off with PAT30. We appreciate SeatGeek. SeatGeek was our first partner, and we continue to work with them today. They're the greatest. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who is a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner. Yesterday had a real high, real tight haircut.
Yeah, very.
A little higher.
I was almost worried about him.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it looked good.
See, I was almost worried in the sense where it's like, hey, this isn't the cut I asked for. I get the same thing every time.
Oh, you think maybe a little bit of a slip of the hand?
Yeah. Why does my hair look like?
Well, because on those high fades, as somebody who does get faded up, if on one side they accidentally okay, now we got to go all the way to the other side. And if you just so happen to on that side, guess what? We're climbing. Now we're doing this game on top of the baseball bat.
Yeah.
You know, and your fade all of a sudden sits like Kid and Play down there, house, and it's just sitting up on the top. That wasn't what happened to AJ.
Okay.
I don't think that's what happened to AJ. Join us, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk.
That's not what happened to you, AJ. That's not.
No. I knew it was going to be a little time between cuts, so I said take it low. We got to take it tight.
Okay.
Take it high, take it low. It looks good.
Yeah.
I think it's a good summer cut, especially you're glowing if you've been outside. How's life been over there in Ohio?
Yeah, I've been outside a bit. Kids have activities out there. It's 95 and humid, so I'm a trooper on the sidelines. But yeah, it's been good, man. Fun. Summertime is good, and football season is right around the corner. I keep telling myself that.
How many days until NFL game?
We were 71 days away today.
Okay, so we are right around the corner. I believe I saw a percentage, too, of how far into the offseason we were.
64% through the offseason as of the beginning of this week.
But remember, the end of the season, of the offseason there, like 15% of it is training camp and actual shit. It's not until the regular season. So you need to deduce 15%. It's actually 85% as a whole. So 64%, you would add probably 15% to that. So now all of a sudden you got 79%. How we doing? Keep it moving. We're closer to football than we thought we were going to be. And that's some Steiner math for you right there.
Bingo. To your point, 71 feels like a lot of days, but we are less than a month to training camps. So that feels.
There's a football game next month, boys.
Okay, so here we are.
Don't do this to yourself, though. This is why we count days. Because all these fun things that we're talking about, it's going to be great to see. Training camp and a football game in July, like Foxy.
Yeah, we care.
Pounding the drum. The only news at a training camp is usually bad news with injuries.
Yeah, training camp.
Oh, okay. So Drake May, how that comes out, you're not going to be pumped?
Exactly.
We're certainly pumped.
That's person to person. That's not like actual things that you can be pumped about. That football game at the end of July, Fox, I'm going to need you to stop saying that.
Why?
Because
we're going to watch
the UFL.
We
glass half full or glass half empty around here.
MCDC on the sideline, though. Think about that.
Yeah, you're right. That is good.
That'll be sweet.
We're going to watch it. We didn't watch the other league.
Are we going to watch it?
I watched the.
I will watch the Hall of Fame. I will bet on the Hall of Fame.
What was that league I watched? The Fisher Freight, the indoor football.
Oh, yeah, the indoor football league.
Yeah, we got a lot of tweets from the indoor football league. We respect them and appreciate them. We understand what you guys are doing over there. We appreciate what you're doing at the indoor football league.
Oh, yeah.
Fisher Freight got 2 more games left. Espinoza, the quarterback that got signed like 3 days before the game, he's player of the week.
He went, wow.
Player of the week at the Fisher Freight. Obviously, he's right around the corner. Bruce is going to go to the game. I think Gumpy said he's going to go. Talk said he's going to go.
Let's go, boys.
Mitt said he's going to go. I think
Hell yeah.
Nick even said he was going to go.
Okay, Skates.
Yeah, I think he said that.
I
field
have
looks
some
sweet, though.
prior obligations, I believe.
What?
I know. I'm devastated.
Going to a soccer game?
Cancel.
A lot of people going to soccer
Yeah.
games these days. They're saying like 65, 70,000 people in some of these stadiums for some of these games. Where are we sitting in the super duper thingy that's happening with the soccer stuff?
The knockout round's halfway set up. Inter Miami PSG Sunday in Atlanta. I will be attending that one.
Okay, that's a noon kickoff, I do
Yep.
believe, in Atlanta on Sunday. It's Inter Miami PSG. Lou Messi used to play for PSG, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. PSG just won the Champions League for the first time as well.
Okay, so the overall favorite to win this is PSG. So they could knock out Lou Messi on Sunday out of the super duper soccer thingy.
That is correct.
$100 million on the line in this tournament.
Yeah, Inter Miami's actually already won $21 million by qualifying and being in this tournament. You win $300,000 for winning the MLS Cup, so that's pretty good.
How do you get...
What? We need.
Where's all this money come from?
We were talking about the MLS being good.
That's not good.
The boys aren't even going to try to win the MLS Super Duper Cup.
Why would they?
If the actual Super Duper Cup, you don't even have to win, you get $21 million.
Well, they got the $21 million because they qualified for the next round, but they did get $7 million for just qualifying in general.
Yeah, but they don't have to win the whole thing. PSG could beat them by 30 this weekend, which...
Yeah, they still. I mean, they're minus 550, so it is a possibility.
How about that Auckland team? They scored one goal in this entire thing. They probably got some millions of dollars, more than you get for winning the entire
Semi-pro league.
Gold medal.
You're telling me these guys are playing an entire season, and if they win the championship, then they get to basically fill up their tank of gas and get a soda pop from the frickin' gas station?
Each person on team.
No, I know. That's great.
They get free icy.
The more I learn about the MLS, I get a little concerned.
What do you mean? A little bit more worried about
Well, the
maybe we're
owners-
gassing up something that isn't real?
I mean, I
It's
like
the best league in
I
the
like
coun-
the
in the
thought of the
world.
league, but the owners don't pay the players. The league pays everybody, so that's an interesting concept.
Does every team have an owner?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, because we learned that down at TST, I believe that the MLS pays every player. The owners have to put the money into an account, I believe. Then it all just comes from one particular spot. And I assume that was done because at some point, just like whenever you guarantee money, you have to put it into like escrow or you have to, it has to be there. The NFL has to do it. I assume because there was times that maybe contracts were given out that maybe the money wasn't.
Is there a cap? Does each team have a cap, though?
I think they just anything you got.
100 grand, I think.
There's like designated players and stuff, and some of the Inter Miami players are getting pissed because they can't bring more players in because you can only have certain players from certain places.
Riddle me this, Gumpy. Have we been, I believe the way it is described, out of pocket when we've been talking about the MLS being the best soccer league in the world?
We might have been sold a false bill of goods.
Lou Messi's on the team.
Yeah,
but
who won the Balloon d'Or?
the Inter Miami Inter Miami doesn't also get that $21 million either. Like the MLS is taking more money from that than any other team that's in this tournament.
Could you imagine back in the day when the Portland Timbers were trying to trade, trying to trade for Landon Donovan, $10,000 loan, and they're just scrambling. They just can't come up with it.
Sounds like Jackie Moon trading away a
really
washing
does,
machine.
Yeah. Bag of balls.
It's sport.
But on the plus side,
There'll be a Super Duper Cup next week somehow.
All this shit we're talking about. You said PSG just won the Champions League for the first time. Didn't they have Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe on the team at the
they
same time?
never won it. First time ever.
Mbop was a problem on that team.
No.
For the record.
No, from what I learned on the streets, there was only one ball.
Yeah, good point.
There's only one ball, so you can't have that many superstars with only one ball.
No wonder no one wants to play soccer growing up. Hey, you can be the best soccer player in the world, go play in the MLS. Guess what? We're gonna, we'll pay for your condo 6 months of the year, not the whole year. We'll give you, $65,000. Does that work? Best player in the world, give you $65,000.
That's not what it's like.
That's what it's
The two players that have been performing and scoring for the U.S. in the Gold Cup, one has been offered by Bayer Leverkusen, and the other one was offered by Derby County.
You gotta go. Get out.
That is a good thing for U.S. soccer.
The dream is to play well enough in the MLS to get to another soccer league.
It's just so much more money. Like you can't compete with that.
In high school,
you can't.
In high school, I legitimately had the thought. I didn't know anything about soccer. Okay, I played soccer, was rather good at soccer, had more schools looking at me for soccer than I did for kicking footballs. But I wasn't I wasn't an avid viewer of soccer. My dad didn't it wasn't Team USA I watched. Like his Team USA was like something that I was seeing. Colby Jones, Tony Meola, literally, Alexi Lawless, that whole era. McBride, I believe, was a guy back then. I mean, that whole team is who I watched as a kid, but I didn't know like the politics of it all. All I knew is if you wanted to be rich playing soccer, you had to live in Europe.
Yeah.
That is literally if you want to be rich, you got to go over to Europe to do it. But I thought the MLS had come to a point, especially with that Apple deal and being able to get Messi here, because this Messi deal is similar to what the Beckham deal was considered like whenever the Beckham deal happened to LA Galaxy, where it was like, this guy's making how much to play soccer in the United States of America? And then that was going to be like an opening for others to do it. There has been.
I thought that changed it, right? I thought that changed everything. Once Beckham came in and did all that, I thought everyone's team was worth way more after that.
Me too. Thierry Henry came over. Wayne Rooney came over. I mean, there's been a lot of superstars that have come over and played over here. So I assumed in my mind that the MLS was in like a good.
I think it is in a good spot compared to where it was, but like $300,000 for winning the MLS Cup is concerning. I had no idea that's what it was.
Thank God you chose football.
Yeah.
I don't think these knees, brother, I don't know if we would have. And with my size, from what I've realized, I was a little bit too large for that entire thing. I don't think my knees would have kept up. But certainly, thank God, with the way kicking worked out and ball kicking worked out.
Everyone's in a good spot when they get out of prison. Yeah. That's the case here, it feels like, with the MLS. And to AJ's question, if your dream has the letters MLS in it, pick a new dream, brother.
What are you talking about?
Still a decent league.
What's your problem?
Hey, head to vocational school. How's being a plumber?
I thought we were learning more about soccer as we were going. I thought we were learning more about soccer and we were respecting soccer more.
I'm enjoying it more.
Especially with the World Cup around the corner.
In the Gold Cup thing, I saw the bracket, I'm back in.
We're taking on Costa Rica. Okay, this one has the name next to the flag. That's good. That was sent in. One of the brackets was sent in. Did not have the names next to the flags. And I'm going to be honest. If it wasn't for the keypad where you can type in the actual country's name, some of those flags would really start dancing and look the exact same as the others. Not saying any disrespect. I'm just telling you, some flags look exactly like another flag. And if you don't have the monoscope or whatever, or the
monocle.
Yeah, you get it. The
telescope.
Yeah, one little star is different than another place. Boy, you can't tell. So I enjoy learning.
Magnifying glass.
Bang.
Come on.
Boom. That's what I needed. So it was hard to figure out who the hell we were playing on that one bracket. Costa Rica. They got a team. They got a team.
They do. I think they traditionally have kind of beaten our brakes off.
They haven't lost in a long time.
No.
I believe so. Every time I check, we're losing to Costa Rica. So I don't, and granted, I'm not checking very often, but when I do, we're losing to them. Is there a purse for this? Because that might be our saving grace.
Gold Cup, this one's just to make the World Cup team.
Yeah, it's pink slips.
Well, then we're screwed. Because, if the MLS guys are like, hey, guess what? Like, we might not eat for a couple months if we don't win this thing. So we got to win this fucking tournament. Okay? I'd like to go to McDonald's a couple times.
Like the NBA Super Duper Cup in the middle of the season.
Exactly.
Guys at the end of the bench are getting $250,000 or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Which is
Can you imagine if they did that in the MLS? These guys would be shooting people in the head on the pitch. Jesus.
I don't like how we're talking about.
I mean, it's real.
All right.
500,000 a pop for the NBA Cup and the MLS Cup. You got to split $300,000.
The MLS is going to figure it out. Our Team USA is going to be good in the World Cup.
Yep.
Okay. I have faith. It's going to be a big deal for soccer as a whole. And the fact that we do have Messi selling out of stadiums everywhere he goes, I think is good news. Let's pivot away from soccer. That went really well. Gumpy, good work.
Hey, baby, Gumpy.
Thank you.
Gumpy.
One guy. It's one guy.
Yesterday there was a conversation that was had about Aaron Rodgers, a lot of conversation about his retirement. He told us not to talk about him for the next 6 weeks. So, AJ, would you like to talk about him?
I mean, I thought he said try to not talk about him, right? He was speaking to us, wasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I told him immediately upon him giving his answer after asking if he was happy that we are part of the problem, because we will certainly echo the conversations that are happening about him. I feel like we are trying to give an alternative angle sometimes to things. But with that being said, he is a lightning rod. All anybody talked about yesterday, he ain't retired. Oh, I thought he was already retired. Huh. You're a genius. I think they're going to be good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be good, especially after talking to him yesterday and knowing that his schedule, just yesterday, we don't know what his schedule is every single day, but just yesterday, we were after, I think, a stretch before first workout. You're talking about being in full camp mode right now. And if he knows it's going to be his last year, where he thinks this is going to be it, It's like he would want to know that he left everything. Like no stone unturned, basically, throughout the entire process. I assume while he was deliberating his decision, whether or not he was going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, he stayed in great shape. I would assume he was still working out then, because as soon as he arrived, he looked great.
Yep.
I think it's good things that we heard from Aaron Rodgers yesterday, personally.
I agree, and I think they're going to be good too. The thing is, when you are a part of one of those cornerstone organizations, good ain't good enough. You know.
Oh, you're talking about are they going to be great?
That's going to be the conversation. And when you have a Mount Rushmore quarterback coming into an organization, that's always good, regardless of who's playing where. That is going to be the conversation. This is his first year going into a season where he hasn't had an off season. With the offense as well. So that'll be you're working out through training camp. So it'll be interesting to see. But it's a Mike Tomlin coach team. It's a bunch of leaders that he mentioned on that team already. He's going to take the mantle of leadership on the offensive side of the ball.
That.
So
that was good phrasing.
this will be a lower third, every week on all the shows. So we will continue to talk about him. Everyone will continue to talk about him.
We apologize for that, though.
Hopefully it's a good thing for the Steelers.
Yeah, and AJ, your thoughts on, he sounded very content, very comfortable, very confident as well, which I appreciated.
Yeah, he did. And I definitely think he's on like that crazy workout grind that you're talking about. I think as he's gotten older, he's gotten even more and more into all of that, the nutrition, everything about it, like how he works out. Like he's definitely dialed that in over the last 5, 6, 7 years, I think, to where he has a whole situation every day planned out now, how he eats, everything he does working out wise, which can only be a positive, I think, for him and the team.
Yeah, as a chef, obviously we've heard that happening in the background whenever we talked to him yesterday. Something big clang.
Yeah.
Big clang out of something. I don't know what it was. Distracted me a little bit, but he was giving a real answer, so I had to make sure, hey, don't look like the dipshit idiot.
Paparazzi fell through his roof, probably.
It might have been paparazzi.
Yeah, Apollo.
Maybe clanging one of those cameras off of something. He did not like that. He did not like that, AJ.
I think he got a message out there. Like, after, what'd you say? Did that feel good? Did that feel good? Like, that was the perfect response to what his little 5-minute, I guess, you let him into it, asked him a little bit, and he just really opened up, let us know how he feels.
Well, I just want to say we want to be invited to the reception.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty good at a reception, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel like we are a good group at one of those events. We're all supposed to have a good time? Yes. We're all trying to have a good time? Yes. We're great for those events. We think if there's people that are a little miserable, those people will certainly, they don't like our style. I think they could potentially, but receptions, that's everybody's happy. We were just trying to offer up services. Like, hey, if you need Vibes Crew, we would love to come through. I did not know where we were headed. I did not. And there was 3 different times I was going to say that you did feel good because I thought he was done. And then he remembered something else.
Kept going.
And then he remembered something else. I was like, all right, good luck. Hey, I'm happy you're doing that. I'm thankful that he had the opportunity to be able to do that. And I think everybody knows exactly where he stands at this exact moment. Speaking of knowing exactly where somebody stands at this exact moment, John Jones retired.
Yeah. Wow.
Hell of a run, John.
Damn. This is John.
Hell of a run, John. As a fighter, obviously. I mean, just as electric as they come. I didn't get to be of age during the Tyson run. I didn't have the opportunity I really had the Tyson Punch-Out game era, looking back on it, watching the highlights. Now at this stage, watching the documentaries, reading the books that Mark Kriegel wrote. Like, I didn't have a chance to experience. I got to experience the John Jones era, though. And when you talk about from a business sense, we're talking shoes, we're talking cereal boxes, we're talking everything. A Nike deal, I believe. You're talking about everything. He took over it all as a rock star in the ring. And obviously he was at about the same time as the UFC was taking off. So you're talking about a superstar for a company transitioning and changing into a global sensation at the same exact time. You're talking real power. That's what John Jones had. Whenever he would fight, people would stop what they were doing. I had the opportunity to meet, obviously, his brothers, his family, him. I got a chance to go watch his fight out in Baltimore when he just toyed with a guy for like 4 rounds, just had a good time with him. He would have those elbows out of nowhere, and then if he would get on the ground, he'd be able to choke you out. He had it all. He had it all at such a young age, and he was so incredibly athletic. So the fact that he would no longer be fighting, obviously, we're bummed out about. But I think over the last few years, we've all come to realize that anything was possible with John Jones. And that's kind of the fighting world. A lot of people like to judge these fighters judge these fighters, and they're like not perfect citizens. And of course, that's not great for anybody or any community whenever that's the case. But they are literally the people that are signing up to go in there and maybe die. Like every once in a while, there's going to be another trait that comes alongside the brain that it takes to have that as their profession, that not everything's going to be perfect. I think obviously that's a story of a lot of fighting humans because of what takes place and the courage it takes to have this as your profession. So congrats to John Jones. We appreciate the hell out of him for what he did for sports. And what a fucking monster he was in the octagon.
I hope it's one of these, MMA/boxing retirements where maybe a year from now he gets the itch and he comes back out and we get to see him fight again, because his only loss is a DQ, a garbage DQ. He needed a down guy, I believe, whatever it was back in the day. Elbow, yeah, whatever it was. He doesn't have any real losses. Like, that's unheard of. And how many times he put his title on the line. So what a fun dude to watch. It took crazy chances. And to him, he didn't feel like he was taking chances. He's like, yeah, this is what I do. This is just who I am.
He was a needle mover. And if he does get into boxing, obviously there's a man who has captivated that particular world this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, with his 13th professional fight. This guy will be fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in Anaheim, California. He's a star of the reality show Paul American. He's a trailblazer, a businessman, and a full-time boxer, much to the chagrin of the people who thought he was just doing it for attention years and years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, Jake Paul.
Yeah!
How are you, buddy? Oh, I think you're muted. Hold on, it's on us, baby.
Hola.
Hola, hola. How are you doing, brother? How you feeling?
¿Cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú?
Hey, muy bien, muy bien. I appreciate you. I know you've been obviously living down in Puerto Rico, and I think they call you, what's your nickname down there?
El Gallo.
El Gallo. Obviously, El Gallo heads into the ring this weekend with an absolute legend. How is El Gallo feeling? Best camp? Best shape? How do you feel right now?
And I'm ready to go. You know, a lot of fighters come on here and say, oh, I had the best camp. I did the best stuff. This is truly how I feel. Statistically, best shape of my life, lowest heart rate, max rounds, speed, power, everything. I'm feeling amazing. So this Saturday, Chavez is getting put to sleep, another legendary name on the hit list.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to see you as a boxer. I think what we've all noticed is I think we have followed your entire boxing career as a show. I think we were a young show whenever you were getting started in it all, whenever everybody was attacking you. I think what we have seen is you've gotten better each fight. And I think that comes from, obviously, your commitment and your training. You're still full-time boxing year-round, right? Life is a fight camp for you still at this point. And how excited are you that I think everybody else is coming around to that as well? It's not just people attacking you for boxing now.
Yeah, look, I've always known what I was capable of, and I always saw the vision of where this was going to go and what I was going to become. So for me, I'm just doing exactly what I manifested and saw in my head, and everyone else is catching up. There is respect in all of these things, but I always knew I was going to become one of the best fighters in the world, and I'm still on the goal to become world champion. And pretty much that's the only thing left I have to do in this sport. Had the most viewed fight ever, knockout of the year, beat a bunch of legends, but now I want to become world champion. And Chavez this Saturday is the step to get there, to be able to be ranked by the sanctioning bodies. And it just feels good to continue to improve fight by fight. And I'm thinking this is going to be my breakout performance.
Okay, so to be ranked by the sanctioning bodies, we saw that. If you win this weekend as non-biased journalist, obviously, you will be ranked. You will become a ranked fighter, is what they're saying. Did you know that it would take 13 fights, or why is it now? Is it just more people realizing who you are, what you're doing, and what does this mean for your future opponents? Do you think now more ranked boxers will want to take you on, or will they be forced to take you on? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it came to a point where the sanctioning bodies were like, wow, this guy is serious. He's now fighting a former world champion. Chavez is a great fighter, 60 fights. And if Jake can beat him, then we will rank him. And once I'm ranked, then other ranked fighters will be forced to fight me. In other words, that means I could potentially be up to fight for a world championship. And that would be the goal and obviously the dream. So this fight is super important to me. I need to have an amazing performance to be able to be ranked on the path to world championship.
Yeah, but good for you, man, earning this the entire way, because you've been calling your shot since the beginning, You said manifest it. Obviously, anytime you say something publicly, you're going to be publicly pressured to see if you can accomplish it or not. You've stuck the course even when there's been immense amount of shit being talked about you. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Jake, I know you said you mentioned earlier you're going to put him to sleep. Do you care how you win? Like, obviously, a win is the number one thing. But do you care? Do you want to put on a show? Do you want to put people to sleep every single time you step into that ring?
I always want to knock out my opponents. That's what boxing's about. And boxing's been boring lately. People running around the rings, not a lot of good fights. So I want to be the guy that's known for having the biggest knockouts, the most exciting fights, and that's what I hope to do on Saturday. This is not just going to be a win. This is going to be an all-star performance and a highlight reel KO.
I love that.
Hell yeah.
That was like when Sugar Sean, Sugar Sean was like, hey, I'm here to put on the Sugar Show. I understand that whenever I'm doing my thing in here, people would like to watch it. That's good news. Like when people want to watch you and draw eyeballs, you already said the biggest, what was the record you dropped there in your last, was it biggest gate?
The biggest most watched fight ever with Tyson, 128 million viewers.
Jeez. Boom.
El Gallo. That's awesome, man. Good for you. Connor has a question for you about your next fight.
Yeah, Jake. So was Chavez picked basically because you could become, a ranked sanctioned fighter? Was that the main reasoning? I assume so many people are probably reaching out wanting the fight versus you, but was that the thought around that, or is it because he is so experienced and has such a great resume?
Yeah, no, it was definitely all three of those things. We knew that if I were to beat Chavez, then I would be able to be ranked. But also because of his name, his father's, legend in the sport. And so it would be something that the fight fans would want to see. And so that was an important factor to it. And then also being able to be ranked.
From the very beginning, felt like you would say things and names, and then people wouldn't take the fight. So you could very easily say, oh, these people are ducking me. These people are ducking me. These people are ducking me. Then as it continues to roll on, it's like people might not want to fight Jake Paul, especially after the big knockouts happening. And then they're like, well, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. But we wonder about the people that actually do take the fights with you. Do you think there is a common thread? Ty has a question.
Yeah, Jake, I'm guessing you don't give a shit about what people on Twitter are saying about your career. But when it comes to your opponents, do you think at this point, do people still underestimate you and think everything's kind of a gimmick, or do you think they understand now, hey, if I don't take this guy seriously, there's a very real chance that I can get put to sleep?
I think my opponents take me very, very seriously. I think that the people on Twitter and the regular fans genuinely think that my fights are rigged, right? Dana White started this rumor. He started this rumor that I was on steroids, this battle and warfare back and forth between us two. And I take it as a compliment because people genuinely can't even believe the fact that I've beaten some of the names that I've beaten, and they chalk it up to that it has to be fake and that he paid these people millions and millions of dollars to take dives. So I find it flattering, but at the end of the day, my opponents have to take me seriously, and they know what I'm capable of.
The rigging fight thing pissed you off, I assume. Obviously, that's the worst thing that could go for your credibility.
Honestly, bro, not yes and no, but you have to understand, we live in a world full of idiots, and the media is controlling people's minds, and people can't think for themselves, right? I mean, we see all the madness in the world currently because of tweets and propaganda that they want to believe. So there's so many sheep in the world who are getting herded up by these border collies, and they aren't able to think for themselves. So I honestly just feel bad for them, and I hope that one day people can find psychedelics and awake spiritually and see from a different level, because we live in a sick world currently, and this just is one example of how dumb people are in believing these types of things.
Hey, Jake, real quick, 2 days in a row now, somebody has said that it's a sick world, sick society. Aaron Rodgers said it yesterday, which I do believe you and he know each other at this point, right? I think so.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he's on that same wavelength of hoping people that or hoping that people can wake up and see the world from a different perspective. And that's what it took for me. I was one of those people, so that's why I preach it. I was like awake emotionally, didn't understand how my actions affect the world, just going about life as another one of the robots, and it took a big transformation for me to awake.
Is that when you got into boxing?
A little bit after that, but boxing also helped with that and helped me grow as a human and stuff. But it takes a lot of effort, and it's not easy to look yourself in the mirror because it's actually a journey inwards. You have to stop blaming the rest of the world for everything and go inwards, and that's where the awakening comes from. And I think that's hard for a lot of people.
How old are you?
28.
You've lived 1,000 years. You've lived
Yeah.
literally through all your, and we've seen it all. We've basically seen it all throughout your life. I mean, it's every day, bro. I saw a lot. We've seen a lot of you throughout these life. Still very young. Can't wait to see what you continue to do. Let's talk about the fight a little bit. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Jake, I'm sure you have something big already planned for your walkout, but I'm not sure if you've heard the song Rooster by Alice in Chains. That would go great with the El Gallo. Just something to think about in the future. But
I'm going to write it down. Rooster?
Yep, by Alice in Chains.
Okay.
What's it sound like, Tone? Here,
Yeah,
Jake.
go on,
Yeah,
here comes a rooster. Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty good song, actually.
Okay.
Tony.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to go full
Are you
with it.
available?
But do you have something big planned for the walkout?
I have something funny planned for sure. It should be a good moment.
Where does that fucking robot live?
He actually lives somewhere in Georgia, like a random city in Georgia, where like the people who control and operate it, they just maintenance it and take care of it and all that stuff. And then whenever we need it, we just fly it somewhere.
You FaceTime him every once in a while, let him know, hey, buddy, I'm cooking. Don't worry about it. The rooster's on it. We'll bring you back out into the wild sometimes.
I don't talk to my robot.
Smart. That's a smart idea. I don't think any of us should, actually. We should continue to move forward. All right, Jake, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. You and your brother are absolutely crushing it. And we continue to follow along with the journey. And good luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me, as always. Appreciate you.
Where are you at in weight loss?
I got like 6 more pounds to go. So I'm feeling pretty skinny right now. Pretty hungry. But
Yeah, pretty ripped up. We pretty ripped up right now.
I mean, I'm a fat kid, man. Like my brother got the good genes, because even like this is like full weight cut.
Oh yeah. Your brother has like the more defined body type.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't even work out, and he looks like that.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I said to him, how do you look like that? He goes, 100 push-ups a day. And I was like, that's it? He goes,
No, he does that as a troll.
yeah, I know, Jake. I know. Jeez. All right, good luck this weekend. Good luck with the weight loss. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen, Jake Paul.
Yeah, Jake.
I know, Jake. Jesus. I do 100 push-ups a day. Okay.
That's it.
Then the next week, hey, how do I look like this? 100 push-ups a day. I know that's not what you do. And then next week, have you ever tried a weighted jump rope? I'm like, no, but it sounds like you do, so I am going to start doing that immediately. It is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
The weighted jump rope is an awesome, I mean, it's like, they talk about jump rope being like such a good, that's why all the boxers do it. It's hard. Your entire body needs it. That's why committing to boxing is insane, especially as somebody who's already rich and successful and everything. The amount of damage, obviously, that can take place, but the commitment and the type of commitment it takes to be a boxer is that's like not a fun thing. They talk about fighters with satin sheets. Like Jake Paul had numerous houses with a lot of beds, all of them satin sheets. Could have picked to sleep in any state he wanted, and he would have had satin sheets. He's like, you know what? I'm going to be a professional boxer every day. Running every morning, sweating every morning, punched in the face every day. It's like, I have respect for it. A lot of people at the beginning thought it was bullshit. We kind of thought. We were like, there's no way he's going to stay committed to boxing because how hard it is. He's still with it. He's still grinding. And for that, we say good luck, brother. Potentially going to be a ranked fighter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's insane to think about. AJ, great work today. Any final message for the people watching on TV?
I tell you what, Jake Paul got me excited to watch this fight. No joke. I'm going to tune in.
No, I don't know. Did he say the robot's coming?
He did not mention it.
He's in Georgia.
Doesn't sound like it.
Well, maybe Georgia's. What if the robot broke? There might be a free robot in Georgia. Everybody look out! All right, that's good way to end the show.
Imagine.
Oh, what a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Now he's going to do a funny entrance.
Yeah, what's the funny? What's it going to be?
I don't know. You remember that guy? Who was that guy a couple years ago?
Oh yeah,
Pakistan, I believe he was in.
He might have been in Pakistan. He's dancing like an asshole coming in.
Yeah,
and then got knocked out like right away.
Yeah, like full on.
Yeah,
it was
like through the ropes.
Yeah, whole thing. Have you seen this video?
I have not.
It's
I had
awesome.
it saved. I watched it whenever I saw it, maybe 15 times a day. That's just like drinking out of cups, being a bitch.
Sure, yeah. Drinking out of cups. That's
Drinking
what
out
it's
of
called.
cups. Yeah, that video.
You sure that was that cup video you watched?
No, you're thinking of Two Girls, One Cup, which I know is your favorite.
That one
video,
made me
but-
puke. Let's not talk about that one. We need to talk about good ones. Let's
Yeah,
keep
you're
that
talking
out.
about-
Oh
yeah.
my god! Get out!
You're talking about the guy in the closet.
No, those
on
Adam
LSD
Algrim, no,
eating
Why'd you do
pizza.
that? Why'd you do that? That was a terrible time.
King Italian nuts.
Yeah, love that. Look at this guy.
Yeah, that video. I think that
a good
was.
video.
If I were to go back in my first YouTube video, it was drinking out of cups.
Me too.
Yeah,
being a bitch. Yeah, I love that.
Just to walk down
and then
me.
that boxing one.
Yeah, all time.
Sidewalk. Yeah, the boxing one. That captivated me for a while.
Just a walkway.
Mr. Walk Down Me.
Then
he
he
got
walk
his ass
down me to
knocked
get to
out.
the building. Fuck you. That video is so good, man.
Didn't somebody come out and lie? The guy that created it, because the whole thing was this dude tripping on drugs in a
closet.
In a closet.
Yeah.
We've all. I'm from Pittsburgh. Lived in West Virginia and Indianapolis. We heard that. You were up in Boston.
Yeah, and I'm younger than you.
Yeah, you heard that
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
Then the guy came out, I think, and said that was not the case. It was something else. Like, I forget what it was. Maybe a voicemail or something.
Nah, I'm not living in that reality.
Me neither. Here it is. Is this? I don't see. Once again, I don't know maps or flags. I mean, as well. I don't know.
That looks like England on the right, and
just know that this guy has no idea what's about that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Uzi.
Can we turn the music on too? We can take a strike for this. I think.
Big ass shorts.
It is copyright free.
Oh, this is awesome.
This is a real fight.
Oh yeah,
I think I've seen
heavyweight champion of the world.
Heavyweight.
There's no way you get this guy.
It's real.
Fuck your real fight.
15 times a day I watch this, like 2 years.
Jeez.
That's Uzi, heavyweight champion of the world.
This guy's a good boxer, you think? First time I saw this, I'm like, yeah.
No fear.
Crowd.
No way you thought
Security
that.
guy's like, all right, man, let's get in the ring. Come on.
Hey, it's a pretty big shoulders.
Still going.
This guy's jacked.
Look at the people vibing with him.
Love it.
Uzi, 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 Uzi.
Booyah!
You gonna fight with the chain on?
It kind of looks like that kid that dances in that Russian nightclub a little bit too.
It might be him.
What happened to him after this fight?
You'll see.
Well, don't worry, there's more, AJ.
Still the ring. Oh, he intimidator.
Yep.
You gonna kiss him?
Try to. A lot of that in face-offs, I've noticed.
Yeah.
These.
Boxers, I'm the referee. I spoke to you both in the dressing room. Obey my command at all times. You both know the rules. Watch your heads.
Good
Pick the
accent.
punches up. And I shout break.
Let's get to it. Yeah.
Oh. I mean, Uzi didn't look like he had much of a chance.
He thought he did, though.
I mean,
He came straight away.
he'll always have that walk in.
Yep.
And it feels so good for that guy.
Holy shit.
Hey, Uzi, we appreciate your confidence. Like, that's the type of confidence you need as a quarterback,
That's right.
as a cornerback, as a punter, as a kicker, as a pitcher, as a batter, as a boxer, as a fighter.
Amen.
Uzi had it.
He did.
Just didn't have that ability, you know?
He was 8 and 9 in his career.
Every time, too.
Yeah.
All
That was actually at 63.
Yeah.
That was a good time. That took me back to a good time right there.
Yeah.
I would open my phone, that motherfucker start dancing.
Yep.
Shit.
And then, what is it?
I need my ringtone.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What?
I don't believe this. I don't believe this comment. I don't believe this comment.
Something happened to
They said
Uzi?
the entrance was from another fight. No way, because he was in the guy's face. This is a lie.
Yeah.
This is Uzi. That's a fake account from Uzi.
Not living in that world.
I'm not living in that world.
Block him.
Edit it. Get it out.
That was so good.
The best.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Oh yeah.
I had so much fun with
Top
that one.
notch.
That's a good wake up in the
Yeah,
morning.
fantastic.
Yeah. And also, it's a good reminder. Okay.
Oh no.
Life's gonna life out there.
Nothing.
Okay.
Life's gonna life out there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's never be too confident to the point of where we're arrogant. Let's never be too bummed out to the point of where we're depressed. Let's make sure we understand that there is a life that we can live where we can get high on the highs, but not till after they're done.
Mm-hmm.
And never get too low on the lows because the highs are coming again.
Hell yeah.
Uzi is a great example of that. He did that entrance every single time. He got knocked out 9 times.
Yeah.
And on that 10th one, if he was to walk out there again, what would he do, D-Butt?
He'd do that same walkout. That's for damn sure.
Bingo.
Wow.
Jeez.
Glad I saw
Is-
it.
Is he a real boxer, or is this just like?
Yes!
Yeah, dude.
Look at
That's
him,
why it
AJ.
is. That's why it's so ridiculously hilarious, AJ.
Frank.
Yeah, this isn't like influencer fight night here. You know,
He's saying
That ain't-
Shinigami.
Getting it.
that's not
Getting
Sketch walking out there.
No.
Which would like I don't want to see Sketch ever get beat up.
I need to see him.
Obviously, we never like to see that.
No.
Him and Charles.
It's all about Uzi.
I'd like to see Uzi maybe step back in the ring though.
Yeah, he should.
Who's gonna fight?
John
you want
Jones.
to fight Mitt?
No, John Jones comes out of retirement, fights Uzi.
Uzi, John Jones
Yeah.
on HBO
Face off.
Supermax.
Bingo.
$29.99. You can watch John Jones play drums with Uzi's face.
I'm there.
All right, this goes in. It's happening.
Okay.
Boom.
Yesterday we got world peace.
Yep.
Have we seen anything that would go against that? No.
No,
I haven't.
Actually,
so.
I think yesterday was actually pretty well.
Boom.
Okay.
There you have it.
Okay.
Just like you said.
Yeah.
Reports from the
This
internet.
one's for Uzi and Jones.
Maybe just an Uzi return.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old is Uzi right now?
Well,
He's still hungry.
He's
I know.
43.
Check.
okay, so when
He was
Tone,
there.
He's 43.
when you gave us the earlier, I thought there was a chance that Uzi was passed away.
Yeah, and maybe
too.
actually even died after that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's but that is not the case. Okay, that's great news.
All right, let's go.
Good.
He gets a fight.
So he
Yep.
can still.
I was watching a video where he was teaching everyone how to do the walkout dance.
We know. We just did it.
Yeah,
Yep.
we've seen
Yeah.
We did it. Ozzy, John Jones.
John Jones.
Coming to a streaming platform near you.
Boy.
Come on, universe, give it to us.
Uzi.
Too strong, like Ozzy.
It
Yeah.
looked good.
Yep.
All right, this one's for Jake.
All right, here we go. Bang.
Oh,
It's a big one.
that was in.
That wasn't Jake Paul.
No.
That was another Jake guy.
Jake the
delivering
Snake.
Stay firm.
I don't know what Jake Snake Roberts is doing right now, but I hope he knows that the universe ball. I'm sure Jake the Snake's doing awesome, whatever he's doing. But the universe ball for not Jake the Snake, but the Jake DoorDash guy who
Oh, yeah.
always spills the damn thing.
Yeah, it does.
Jake the Snake's probably doing yoga with DDP.
That was a great episode. I enjoyed watching that. DDP has really done a lot of very good things with his yoga. I might need to get into it, actually. Can't touch my goddamn toes. I can get in that power pose, though.
Yeah.
There you go.
One of
That's your
those.
putting post.
Oh,
Actually,
might help the golf game.
We haven't even talked about it. Age, you have no idea what's going on right now.
What?
I might be getting
Get your
back.
putter?
I might be getting back into the game in a big way.
Really? I know Keegan. Keegan was awesome, by the way. He was great.
He told us to send you his love. He's a big fan.
I've been a fan of that dude forever. He should absolutely play in the Ryder Cup, by the way. Don't just put himself on the squad and play.
Especially after how I heard him just talk. Yeah, I felt invincible. That's a Sunday of a $3.5 million purse winner. That we would like guys that feel that way on Sundays to represent the country. But he's got a tough decision to make. Maybe he just wants to also just be a coach out there. Maybe he just wants to be a captain, be a leader. He got to do what he's got to do, and maybe he wins this weekend. We shall see. But I'm getting those lab putters.
Yep. Rub against that forearm. Brace it.
Boom. So it can't move because then it's directly with your arm there, you see?
So you're
So as
supposed
long
to-
as your arm rolls to the hole, You see? And then the right hand, that's the feel. Let's go. Just like we're playing cornhole with that thing. Just like we're playing cornhole. And then it's a hockey mix.
Yep.
Feels like I got putting figured out.
Yep.
So
driving's figured out.
You got it.
Driving's figured out because I watched Kiwa Shama.
Yep.
I believe is his name, with the Kiwa shallow technique. He goes here, then hands here, then boom. Then you're hitting a draw every single time.
Every time.
He said he could do it with any sport. Any sport. You got a baseball bat. He was like, see. Then he grabs his club. See. And
yeah.
Beautiful.
Your irons are figured out because you're going ear to ear.
Yeah, I'm going ear to ear, 146, right here.
146 9-iron, right?
To right here. What is
ear to ear? Yeah, how is ear to ear? How do you gauge that?
Probably his hands.
Do that.
I would assume it's his hands.
Probably hands.
Because he has a little knockdown.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go. You got it. That's perfect. That's 146.
I'm a little worried I might have the Kiwa shallow into my into my irons.
So still play.
But I think I'm getting back into golf. I'm gonna make a run at it at least. I'm gonna make a run at it. And then if I'm not good, officially giving it up forever.
There you go.
Boom. Win-win.
It's
fair.
At least you gave it another chance.
Mm-hmm. And this is it. I'm not putting with this. This ain't my putter.
No. It's
Why isn't Kiwasawa on the PGA Tour or
To be honest, I don't think he's been given the opportunity. He needs to be on the Champions Tour and or the PGA Tour. I don't know his age. Every shot I've ever seen him hit.
Yeah, perfect.
Does he ever go on the course?
Yeah, I've seen him on a course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've done a hole with him.
No, he
Good times.
he actually doesn't love everything that goes on with those tours. He won every single event in the Japanese tour for like 6 straight years.
That's a lot of good golfers.
DP World Tour?
No, he doesn't love that either.
Oh, okay.
Just the Japanese tour.
I think what he loves doing is just sitting at that driving range that's perfectly lit and just smoking draws. Just everybody else at the entire range is like, this fucking guy.
He was going
Watch
today.
him.
If you haven't seen him yet.
Can we pull
Can he hit a little fade though? Can he hit a fade if he wants to?
Here it is.
Anything he wants.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
That's the key. Can you get to his driver? Can you get
Is he hitting into a green screen?
You can leave it up. You can leave the screen
No,
up.
sir.
You can leave the screen up. You can leave the greens up. There. Yeah, look, he's
Yep. Here it is. Oh, there it is. Throw it. Boom.
That's an X.
That's
So
no.
no.
Boom.
No.
You see what you're doing? No.
Fade.
You see what you just did? Here.
Oh. Okay.
Point Dahn, come around. Point Dahn, come around. Boom. Out of pocket.
Almost like a little Jim Furyk action.
Boom.
Yeah.
He's got a little JF
Boom.
in him.
Can you get to one of the videos where he's holding like a box or something?
President Cup's coming.
Spirit swing coach.
He is my personal swing coach. I've not paid him a dime.
Oh,
do the baseball one maybe. Is that a baseball one right there?
Swing while walking backwards.
Like Shohei Ohtani. Look, bang.
This is awesome.
Bang. That's what you need to do. Huh? Right here?
Yeah.
Bang. See? Just like a baseball bat.
Gone.
Smoked.
So easy.
Yeah, it's easy. He's doing it like Shohei.
Oh.
You see? Take that fucker right there. You turn it. Down around. Bang.
It ain't hard.
He's been my swing coach for the last 3 months.
Yep.
I've been watching every video. Had a lacrosse stick out there. Had a hockey stick out there.
He knows.
Mental rut.
That's Kawa.
I'm laying down. I get up. Start just out of the middle of nowhere. Fucking like that. I need to give it one more go.
One more go.
Is that a ping pong paddle up? Yep. Do that one. No, that's not. That's a hammer. He can do it with a hammer, though, obviously.
You gonna hit that 300 yards for him?
No, he's just telling you, look. This is what you're doing. This is what you need to do. When hitting with a hammer, do not turn the face. What are you doing? Just hit the fucking hammer, he said. Everybody's turning their hands. Don't turn your hands.
He's a great teacher.
Just hit the fucking thing, he says.
That's what he said?
Yeah. He said, don't turn the hammer. Just fucking pow. Gone.
Holy shit.
Smokes ball.
That would be nice.
Every time I've seen this guy hit a ball, it's that. And then he missed the birdie putt and he tapped in for par.
Mm-hmm.
Just the most Kiwa thing I could imagine.
Yep.
Didn't want to be too arrogant, just wanted to be casual. Wants me to be a better golfer. And he's talked me into it. He needs to know he has talked me into it. I'm giving him one last chance.
Without saying a fucking word.
I don't think one word has been spoken by him or me. Always.
Wonder if Miz watches this page.
No.
Miz, he's a righty, obviously. The world's working against me. I'm a lefty. The whole thing. He's still doing a Miz golf, I think.
Yeah.
How's he doing? Is it?
So bad.
Killing it. He's killing it.
He's losing.
Is he at the Tahoe?
He will be.
Ping
but
pong battle. Get the ping pong
He hits
battle.
good shots, though. He says Miz show some of his bad shots, which most people like. This gentleman, I haven't seen him show any bad shots.
He doesn't
He doesn't have any. Look, he's like what you're hitting, just like a ping pong paddle. That spoke to me.
Maybe when he was 10.
Paradise got Miz.
Silky smooth.
What do you mean silky smooth? Perfect form, brother. That's key with shallow. Any of these sports, it's what you need to do.
He's a beast.
All right, if this goes in, I'm a key with shallow myself back into golf.
Boom.
Oh, nice.
Come on.
If you miss it, this guy actually stinks.
I like that. Though. That's real stakes.
Real stakes. If you miss that, that is a green screen.
Key with shallow's not doing it on a goddamn green screen.
Let the universe decide.
He wears hoodies in some because it's cold. Do you think he would do that in a green?
Good gimmick. AC might be on.
Working kid.
For Kiwashama.
Him too.
Yes.
Oh no.
I thought it was
I know
green
it.
screen.
Yeah.
It just read to green screen.
It did, kind of.
Guy couldn't make his high school team.
Yes, he did.
You can get that with your leg. There it is. You see,
My golf game. It's because Kiwashala does not deserve the disrespect. Couldn't make his high school team. He was his high school team.
Just let the universe speak to me. Sick one. I don't believe all it. I'm not a robot.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry, Kawa.
That's not good.
What's his day job, you think?
Golf!
You're looking at it.
You see Tatum's new Jordans? They look just like those, except they're all white with a little black.
I like that.
Yeah, the new version of his shoes.
Who all has shoes now at this point? Does Caitlyn have shoes, or is she wearing the coat? She has Kobe's.
Hers just got announced this week.
Okay, so she has shoes. Sabrina has shoes too, right?
Yes. Sabrina.
Oh, yeah.
Sabrina has nice shoes.
Very nice.
They're sweet. I like
Wilson?
Sabrina's shoes.
Yeah, I like Sabrina's shoes as well. Asia has
I think
shoes.
Asia
has
does.
shoes.
KD has shoes.
Angel Reese has shoes. Reebok.
I think Trey Young has a shoe.
Ja.
LeBron has a lot of shoes. Ja has shoes.
Yeah.
He did, and then they stopped, and they're back, I believe.
Yeah, kids love his shoes too.
Yeah, they're
Love
good.
LaMelo
They're legit.
shoes.
Everybody loves the super large shoes.
Russ had shoes.
I can't do the super large shoes. Told Tyrese, hey, you should just make some crispy all white shoes.
Yeah, Tatum snaked those. If you can pull them up, they are filthy. I'm not a white shoe guy. I'm not a shoe guy in general, but I'm not a white shoe guy. They are so sweet.
What do you mean you're not a white shoe guy?
It's because I get all my stuff. I don't like having shoes in general, let alone
What's
white
that?
ones, just because they get dirty.
Hunter's a one pair a year guy. They're always black.
Yeah, I'm a one pair a year guy, and they're black shoes.
But you can walk to avoid danger for said shoes.
Yeah, but inevitably something will happen.
Of course.
Like, why put any real estate in my brain about wanting my shoes to stay clean when they're going to get dirty?
No, but you're not there is like a hope that they would stay clean.
Nah, I had those West Virginia ones that were white. They didn't last a week.
Yeah, bingo. They lasted a month at most.
Yeah, but like you would take the mud path over like a chance for cement that'll add 4 feet.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't do that in the Tatum.
Can we show the Tatum shoes, please? I want to be right about shoes for once in my life.
Okay, get them. Will you get them?
Ooh,
No, I want to just show them.
Kyrie just dropped some shoes.
Kyrie's shoes are sweet.
Can't get those.
Yeah.
What are those? Where are they from?
Exactly.
You know.
Those are Tatum's right
where
there?
all our shoes are from.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, close. They're
Those are the all whites?
No, those are.
That's his sneaker collection. it
Those
looks
are not
like.
his, but it's fine. But I'll find them later.
Can you Google Jason Tatum's
kind of look like the
Jason Tatum's shoes?
White.
Oh, there they are.
Oh.
Down. They got a little pink and blue in these ones. The Jordan Tatum 3s?
No, those aren't them. It's all right.
What number is it? 4? 5? What number would it be?
I'm not sure. I just know that they just dropped the designs for him. I don't know if they're even on his website at this point.
Oh, you got advanced screenings?
No, it was on X.
Unreleased.
It was on X. Like, this is Jason Tatum's next shoe.
Really?
And they were all white, just like those, except there wasn't any red. And then
It is hard to find all white shoes these days. That's why Air Force One's always going to be the best.
These ones are all white. They are sick.
I forgot Tatum was
Bruce
a Jordan
found
guy.
Me too. I forgot. Bruce just sent it into the group.
Luka, Zion.
Yeah, he's Jordan. Him and
Oh shit. Yeah, those are really nice.
Those are awesome.
Oh, those are sweet. I like those.
Yeah. So okay, are you gonna wear those?
And then-
I'll get you a pair of those. I'd like to get you a few pairs of those.
we'll see. Probably not. The back has 20.
Listen, you got an inside pair. You got an outside pair, bub. You got an inside
That's
pair.
a good point. I could probably wear
I
them.
like
here.
those.
Yeah, look at that. That's filthy.
Those are really nice shoes. That was a great idea by Tatum.
Need some buckets in there.
Or Jordan, whoever the people that designed it would love to wear those. Are those
With your jacket, Con? Holy smokes. Can you imagine?
Oh, fuck! Especially if you had leather pants on, too.
Oh,
I put my leather pants on. This is all she wrote.
Please put leather pants on with
Happened
that.
so fast.
That would look
You
so
Lenny
cool.
Kravitz.
If you had... Yeah, let's not do any squatting, aggressive
Yeah.
squatting. Leather pants, leather jacket, those shoes, steal the room,
Just
brother.
sweating all day.
Steal the room, steal the moon.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not getting into it. All right, let's get out of here.
Up for grab.
Is it? Do we
What?
know?
I don't know.
We planted our flag there.
The moon's
somebody
up
there
for
right
I was talking
grabs.
about the shoes. The shoes are available.
Those shoes are available?
I think so.
Oh, you're talking about the moon being available.
No, the JT5.
We planted our flag.
Yeah,
It
the moon's ours.
It's our moon.
Okay.
We got a guy there right now, they said.
Yeah, we got a guy up there. What's he doing?
Hanging out.
Just walking around.
Yeah, he's alive.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom.
By himself.
Boom.
No way to get off the
Stopping,
moon.
taking out a golf club, hitting a moon rock.
Yep.
Boom, boom.
20 miles into space.
Here's another one. Is he skipping rocks?
Could be.
Maybe.
That'd be
What
cool.
if he's
Might
like,
be Kawasawa.
that's not his name,
That was disrespectful.
but I understand what
What
you're trying
was
to
it?
say. He might
What
be,
is it?
Kiwashama?
That's close.
Kawasawa.
I wonder if Kiwashama would be able to hit a draw with no gravity.
I'd assume so.
Yeah.
You find a way.
It goes forever. Never stops.
If there's spin, does it matter if there's no...
Same green
Good
screen.
question.
For Kia Shallow, he can do it.
Same green screen.
Yep. Moon, driving range.
Plug it.
Whatever gimmick you need it for.
On that note, we're out of here. I don't like what you just did, mister. You can talk about the moon and the green screen all you want. Okay? Seems like that is a growing conversation in this particular office, and it'll probably always be. But for Kawamura, Kawamura,
Okay.
Oh, so we're all saying it.
Okay, so everybody's wrong.
You guys are disgusting.
No,
You guys are disgusting.
Kawashallow.
We call him Kawa.
20
Yeah,
minutes
that's-
on this guy.
his
No
swing-
one knew his name.
His swing technique is called Kawasaki.
It's called the
Shallow, yeah.
Kawashallow. That is what the swing is called. He calls it that. We did not create that.
Okay.
Jesus.
Coach Kawa.
Follow along
Boom.
with Kawashallow's teaching.
All
Two
right.
weight. Call it 20.
He is a golf coach. Tips for all golfer. Kawashallow's secret. It says right there.
Boom.
Kawashallow's secret.
Idiot.
We should tip him though. I've taken 10 hours worth of
He's fine.
golf lessons from this guy.
He's got 1.1 million students. I mean,
Yeah.
He should have more. He's
Fly him
unbelievable.
in.
Truly.
This guy's unbelievable. That's a long flight. We should fly him in.
Do we know where he lives?
I think it is. I'm not saying it, but I believe it's in Japan. I believe he is.
Kyoto? I think I've seen Kyoto somewhere around his.
That driving range?
It might be.
Lucas Patrick knows the deal. He follows him too.
lives where he wants to.
My golf game, go up. My golf game has become easier since I realized that I can't read
Am
it.
the fucking man.
That I can impact like a baseball, he says. Like I can impact like a baseball. Boom, baseball.
What's the rest of that say?
You know, their language is tough to figure
I think
out.
it says, now watch me hit this drive.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Oh,
the
he said,
exclamation
I thought the
points are for.
slice wouldn't be fixed without flipping and then water because it was splash.
Sure.
When's the last post he had?
Beautiful scenery.
That's
That
the
one's
pinned
from
one.
2022.
That's his pinned one.
That's a pin one. Learn the platform.
Wake
brother.
up.
Now watch me hit this drive.
Do the cow swing image there, please. When was that?
Boom. 21,
21 hours ago. Okay, good.
I'm
He's still
telling
with
you.
us.
Yes, he's still with. What are you talking about? I'm with the That'll be the first. When I open this, I assume it'll be the first thing that I pull up.
I believe it.
Oh, it's not actually.
Right there. You make it look way too easy, Kawa. Steve Hagpath gets
Is
it.
Liver King all right? That's what just popped up on my house.
No, man.
All right, let's get out of here.
No.
I
He's
thought
attacking-
Kawa Shallow was going to pop up.
Liver King
It was not the Kawa
He's attacking
Shallow.
people.
Yeah, he's not in good.
No way.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. Holy shit. My algorithm just had a big one there.
Yeah.
I saw some of his videos, man. Yeah, it's scary.
Okay, I would like to say this. I've known nothing about the lead up to whatever this video is, but this one had a lot of big words across the top.
He's attacking a big name.
Whoa.
I've seen that.
He had a run. When was that? 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Now there's no Untold about him on Netflix.
Be your friend, tell a friend something nice might change their life.
No, that story was.
We do. We're in this thing together. Good luck to all parties. In my algorithm. Can we get some more Kawa Shallow, please? Instead of whatever that was? A lot of exclamation points. Yeah. Big names. Boom. Bang.
I need to see it.
I don't like my algorithm.
Yeah.
Let's have a positive day.
Okay. Amen.
We shot all the balls.
Yeah, no balls left.
Universe Ball says it's good.
Yeah. Let's just have one.
Let's have one. Great work in the back. Nothing.
Locked in.
I think they're a little bit worried about what I just saw in
Yeah,
my
it might
algorithm,
be.
too.
It might be. It certainly cause for concern.
Team on three. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.